hopefully. Yeah. Hi, everybody. We are in Kansas City. I'm trying to think. It was last week. We were in Florida, but now we're in Kansas, and we are broadcasting
Kansas
from
City.
here.
What's Kansas City known for?
Me mostly. No.
The Kansas City Renaissance Festival.
The Kansas City Renaissance Festival.
Spectrum. Yeah.
Spectrum. Yeah.
Planet Comic. No.
Planet Comic Con. Yes.
No, Gamera, go away. Stay away from these wires.
Yeah.
No.
The cats are with us here in Kansas. We've driven down with them, so we might see them. The cats are always kind of weird when we're in a different house and they've only been there for a few days. They always act like they haven't seen it before, and they start looking around in the corners and sleeping in odd places. So they might be acting weird during this. Apologies in advance. Hopefully, too, we won't get any odd interruptions. We've had problems in here with internet and power going out. We had power go off a couple times yesterday.
It's always dodgy here.
It's always a bit dodgy.
It's
here.
A pain.
That's why they have Dodge Cities in Kansas.
There you go.
But I have not worked on this painting since last weekend. So you're kind of seeing it. If you haven't caught up on this and you're watching this in an archive, you can look at last week, which would have been June 30th. You can see when I sketched this little elephant painting out. And now I'm working on it more today. So got to travel.
Is everybody able to hear us?
Yeah, please let us know if you can't hear us or anything like that, because we have a very different setup here in Kansas than we have in Florida, in Celebration at least.
Yeah, I kind of just strung this together. Everything's really wiry in here right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of cables. I'm worried if I get up to wash my hands, I'm going to knock over a bunch of cables, so hopefully that'll be okay. My Gamer is a bad kitty. I didn't know that.
Here.
Oh, what a terrible game.
Okay, people are saying sound is good. Excellent.
Good. Yay.
It's good to hear. Literally.
Yeah.
So a lot of people have taken advantage of I don't want to call it a sale, but during July we give away a pin.
Oh yeah. Oh,
up at strangelink.com.
I didn't grab any of those, honey. I meant to. Some of the pins that's part of the reason.
I wish we had an intermission where I could correct any
if we were clever, we could probably do that in between the time we do this now and yeah.
Okay.
Can you also grab the...
it will take me a while. Just talk about art, and
I can grab it, and you can talk in the actual microphone. That might be better. Is it in the pin box in my art cabinet behind me?
Yes.
Okay.
The wonderful
I
pin
can
box.
grab that real quick.
If you want to set it, you want to look through it.
Do what?
You might want to use this chair or something.
Oh, is it up high?
No, I mean as a platform, so you can look through the pins.
Why would I need a chair?
I don't know. So Jasmine's locating the.
You're in here, right?
Pin. I think so. I think so.
Oh, we've got the black orchid.
Yeah, that one I don't have a card on.
Yeah. Oh, here.
Yay.
Go ahead and leave that out.
And also, ooh, yeah, I've heard about the earthquakes in California. That's scary stuff.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, I've got a lot of friends out there. That's scary.
I know I've experienced tiny ones that
Very minor
haven't really felt, and I slept through it or something. But I hear they happen all the time there, but they're getting worse ones.
I know Los Angeles allegedly has, what is it, like 17 earthquakes a day or something weird.
Something.
They're very small.
Yeah,
they get over 1,000 a year.
Numbers, I don't know.
Yeah, but they don't really do anything.
Had a couple in 1 week. That's so scary.
That's terrifying.
It's one of those things where...
We had one in Florida, remember?
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Little guy.
This is the little fella. He's in a little bag, sorry. But, this is the one you probably heard us talking about last time. This is how he turned out. He's so cute. This is for all of July with our strangeling.com. It's our 22nd anniversary for the website. I started the website in July of 1997, and now it is the 22nd anniversary.
Yeah, so if you've placed an order last week with strangeling.com over $25, you'll be getting one of these per order.
Yep.
I saw that some of you ordered a few times. That's cool.
You can do that. Yeah, there isn't a limit on how many times you can do it, and but there is a price limit. It has to be $25 or more in the shopping cart, so that we can actually put it in the package and not lose money from shipping. So
correct.
But as long as it's $25.
Yeah, and I'm starting to ship orders this week, so I appreciate your patience. As you guys know, that last week was, of course, for we Americans, was 4th of July. I was also traveling early in the week, so I basically had zero time to concentrate on packing up or working on Canvas Cuties. I can't believe how I won't say numbers, but I'm just happy that I know how to do them.
Yeah.
If this was a new venture,
that'd be terrifying. I'd just hide under the covers.
Stretch canvas like a madman. I would be. I'd be crying right now. But we've already been an overwhelming response.
Has been so, but we have plenty of these, and hopefully we should have enough to last through July.
I think so. I think we've planned well. That's all.
I think so. I'm good at planning, and I'm good at anticipating numbers. So hopefully that will.
Laura's got her ordering pin. What Laura probably ordered was something that Jasmine didn't have to touch, or that it wasn't part of.
It probably wasn't I was going to say, it probably wasn't a limited edition or a Canvas
Yes,
Cutie.
Leela, you're in the room.
Yeah. But yeah, we had to drive up from Florida to Kansas and get here in time for 4th of July. A lot of people don't realize it is 1,250 miles between Florida and Kansas. It might seem like we go back and forth a lot, and we do, but it is kind of a road trip every time. I tried to explain that to my friends in England who are like, oh my gosh, it takes 4 hours to drive over there. That's across the country. And it's like, no, America's really, really big. It takes a long time to get from one place to another.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe next year. Girl in the Mitten makes a good point. She says that the Canvas Cuties are the perfect amount to get the pin. They're exactly like 25.
Yeah.
Maybe next year.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a year to plan. Maybe next year we have more $25, just even $25 items.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Or what do like the coloring books cost, or the Oracle decks or something?
They're over 25.
Are they?
I'm pretty sure.
They're a little bit over that, maybe.
So, yep.
But then people do like Canvas Cuties, though. And they're kind of our recycling initiative. So I don't know if I want to make people not order them. You know?
No. I was just saying other options.
Oh, okay.
If they're just ordering Canvas Cuties, because it's the perfect amount.
Just raise up our small print prices from $13.99 to $25.
Yeah.
Oh, what are the big prints, like the 12 by 16s? I don't know how much they cost.
12 by...
are those $30?
I don't know. I should know these things. What's wrong with us?
I should know that, but I don't. I just, paint the pictures, but...
Why don't we know this?
Yeah, I don't want to know that.
I'll just find one here.
No, that's why it's funny when people send me messages on Facebook. They're like, if I did this order and did this and that, and I'm like, I don't know.
Okay,
would you like to know what color paint I used on that? Yeah.
$15.99 is a
regular
8 by 10
print. Okay.
Image.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
12 by 16 is $34.99.
Okay. So that's more than the $25 price point,
right.
But it's not that much more.
It's just what they're saying in the room is a sweet spot.
Yeah, that's very true. Also, I haven't posted on my regular, like my big crazy 2 million people Facebook about the sale or the promotion yet with the free dragon pin, because I wanted people who were part of the pin group or people who were in Patreon and stuff like that to hear about it first, to make sure there was enough for everybody.
But we do have a product coming out this month that will be pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's over $25. What's that one? I can show that off now. I actually have it, and it's coming out like in a couple days. Yeah. It came early.
Okay, so pin guys, this is pretty exciting.
This is exciting, and this is something you guys have asked about for a very long time. Some of you in particular, you probably know who you are. But these are, and this is how they will come. This is my sample one I'm keeping for myself. But these are the little faces of fairy pins that are full color metal pin printed. It's kind of a weird process. They have to take a photo negative of them and like put it in the metal they're actually metal. They're not plastic or anything like that. And you get 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. And they are, how much are they? $39.99 something.
I think I don't know. You had I think you wrote me an email.
I think they're $39.99. Don't quote me on that, but I think they're around that. So whatever they are, they're over $25 for sure. So, and they're coming out in a couple days, right? Like
I think
Tuesday or
I think the plan is Tuesday.
Tuesday?
If not Tuesday, soon after.
We'll have these, yeah.
Yeah, and those will be another way to get the pen.
And they're pretty nifty. It's kind of for those of you who know about graphic design and stuff like that. It's hard to take a square painting that is only a face, like the Faces of Fairy or the Tiny Treasures, and if you were to cut it down into 4 colors or whatever, it would look like a cartoon. It wouldn't look realistic. You wouldn't see all the little details. So we're doing full color offset printing on metal with these little guys here.
Right, they're like cute little mini paintings.
Like getting the actual painting.
I'll take mini portraits.
One off of here to show you what they look like. If you have one of the Porcelina pens, it's the same process we used on Porcelina. So they're metal. They've got 2 posts on them.
It's similar to Porcelina.
I can't see the TV from here, but yeah, they're actual solid metal, and they've got the little posts, and they got my name on the back too. Pretty cool.
Right, and we're not stopping here. If you notice on the card, it says set 1, doesn't it, Jasmine?
It does. It does indeed. So I'm hoping if people like these, then I can do that with a whole bunch of the Faces of Fairy. Because a lot of when I've ever asked people, it's like, hey, what pins would you guys like at Patreon or something? They're often Faces of Fairy paintings that aren't, you can't cut out, their nose at the side, or are they missing an ear? It's kind of a weird thing to do for an enamel pin, but it works really good for solid metal pins. So we're calling them portrait sets, and this is set 1, and we're only making 250 of these because I do have to get them made in a different way than I do the other ones. They don't have a mold of set 1. Yeah. So
if
you get
250 works out, if we think that's a good amount.
Yeah, if everybody's like, oh my gosh, I didn't get to order one, and they're all gone like in 5 minutes, then maybe the next time I'll do 500 or something for the next set. But for these, we only have 250 of these little pictures.
We know that you guys, we've shown, I think, Jasmine, is it the last 2 Twitches you've shown off these? But last time you didn't have the product.
No, I don't think. I showed off a little printout I did that weren't the actual pins. I think I had. I think I still have it. Oh, where'd it go? Oh, it's over here. I had one. It was just basically it was the postcard that didn't have the pins on it yet. It was like, this is where they're gonna go, but no, these are them, and they're.
If we seem like we don't have
there it is.
Stuff handy, keep in mind this is our second.
Actually, I did have it handy. I brought it from Kansas, but
so that's what
I had a postcard that had the pins printed out, like the pictures on it, to show you what it would look like. But now these are the actual pins.
Yep.
Yay, and they're all done, and they should pop up on the Strangeling website.
Right. Now
Tuesday. I don't know what time Tuesday.
I know that there was concern among people that they were worried about someone just going in there and buying a bunch.
Yes, and after a lot of people brought that up, we talked to the website admin who runs a lot of the back end of my website, and that's my stepsister Sonia, and I think they made it so you could only have a certain amount of them.
I think that it's going to be 10 is the limit.
Like 10 sets, like 10 of these, like the whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that should be enough for somebody, right?
So and that's.
But you mean somebody couldn't go in and buy 250?
They could not.
Okay. Yeah.
Most people will buy one, I would imagine.
Yeah. Most people would only buy one. Not most people would buy one, because then I'd need 8 billion. Yeah.
Yeah. Granchi says, I have the cute little bottle cap magnets Amber made way back when. They're similar. They are kind of similar.
Well, the bottle cap, those are very cute, but those are actually pieces of paper that we poured, like nail polish on, kind of, and stuck them on the back of something. These are actually offset printed into the metal, like the porcelain
These are a more solid piece.
These are
I would consider them a more of a quality.
Yeah, they're actually metal. They're not just like a piece of metal with a piece of paper on top of it, if that makes sense. So that's if you're a collector, offset printing is a neat thing to get for pins.
So yeah, we'll show that off later too
Yeah,
for people
definitely.
to come in.
Yeah, people
later.
Are
so we do have raffles today, and I'll go ahead and I'll type in the raffle message again that you.
Oh, that yeah.
Yeah, it's just a little thing that I make MooBot do.
Oh, okay, cool. I never see that stuff. I never actually see the chat room or anything.
Okay, well,
I just
I'll let you know what
I
put in there. MooBot says, enter the giveaway by typing ! Raffle in chat. So it's a little thing that I click a button.
That's fine.
And it makes MooBot say that. Yeah, we like these new pins. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
But we know that we want also. I think it's a.
It's in addition to the other ones. We're not switching over to that type. We're doing the regular pins as always. This is like a bonus thing we're doing in addition to the usual. Right. So yeah.
So it's I think I'm kind of excited about it.
Yeah.
And we're not sure how often we'll do that.
I don't really know.
But it's going to be kind of like anything. It will be sort of organic. You know, we'll figure it out as we go.
Yeah, it's very grassrootsy.
Yeah, as
everything we do. Yeah.
That's how we do things around.
Yeah, but no, they're not going to be a thing I would ever do for a pin of the month because I do enamel pins for a pin of the month. I do enamel pins for when we do event exclusives.
Right. Maybe if we were starting out doing that, we would have. But
no, I like enamel pins. I like both types of pins, really. And I love Porcelina. That's part of the reason I thought about doing those, like how we did the Porcelina pin. She turned out lovely. I was like, oh, she's so smooth and pretty and metal. And the backs come off so much easier on that, like nickel alloy metal. Oh my god.
Shaylee's asking if we had a nice July 4th. We had a fantastic July 4th.
We had a very good July 4th.
It was really, really fun.
We went up to my dad's farm.
Yeah, my favorite for... I don't know about the Brits if they'd even have something like this over there.
Maddie, they have Guy Fawkes Night.
Yeah, but I don't know if
they do. Huh?
Listen to me.
Oh.
I'm talking about the lanterns.
Yeah, the ones they sell at Hyde Park that we've looked at many times.
They sell those at Hyde Park?
Honey, yes, they sell them in the gift shop. I don't know how to help you with that.
So I like my favorite thing is not really a firework. It's the little lanterns are like hot air balloons that you send off into the sky.
Like Entangled.
They're gorgeous. Yeah. They come in different colors.
At Guy Fawkes, they sell them at
Hyde
Park.
They make me happy.
I like them.
They're my favorite thing.
I like them all.
Last year, I remember we bought a couple sets and some of them didn't work out. Some of them kind of went off to the side and started on fire, and it was a brand that I wasn't used to. But this year, all of them worked so well.
Last year, I think folks started without me, so I didn't really get to see them as much.
But yeah, so those are great. I do hear that they are, some people consider them a bit dangerous. But where we're at, it was nice and wet. It had rained a couple times that morning.
We're in the middle of nowhere.
We're out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're setting these things down on people's houses or anything.
No.
We keep it very safe.
Yeah. Yeah, we've never really had any sort of issues doing our 4th of July out there. First of all, it's legal in that part of the county, and then second of all, we've never had a problem with anybody's property being damaged.
Jasmine.
After 40-odd years, yeah.
Are the Poe pins going to be enamel or like these new ones?
They'll be enamel, yeah. The only things we're doing with the metal ones are going to be the square ones, because I can't do an outline of something that is somebody's head floating in the middle of nowhere. What would I do? Put a line across her face? That would look weird. Have a big black line across her face and like no hands. That would look terrible. That's why we're doing it with Faces of Fairy, because people keep asking for Faces of Fairy.
Right.
And they work really good with these, but has nothing to do with the other pins, other enamel pins, anything. These are a new thing we're doing separate from that. Was Leela asking that?
No.
Who was asking?
I think Erica asked.
Oh. No, those will be enamel pins.
Erica was asking.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Or I mean, she has I think she's told people.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Wild Elf Fairy was asking that.
Oh, okay. But no, those are the ones that require me to do a whole new painting every time. Whenever it's enamel pin, I have to paint, like take a painting I've already done and knock it down into 4, 5, 6 colors, paint it again. Instead of doing new paintings I could do prints with or put in a gallery, and I'm just making it for the pen basically. So for things that are little square paintings that people keep asking for, we're going to be doing these with this. So.
Oh, Leela said not her this time. Well, you do actually have a few people that are gunning for.
Oh, I know. Yeah, especially since I brought it up here, right?
If I could call it that. Because we do have a character named Poe, which is very popular also.
That has nothing
not to be confused with Edgar Allan Poe.
No. I didn't name her. My sister Amber did in a short story.
I like that story, and I love the character. She's very cute.
My light's going out. Gosh darn it. We talked about her last time. Remember Poe, the fairy character, the steampunk sort of...
Is that light giving you pain?
Huh?
Is that light giving you pain again?
It's the old light that the thing is flickering on it, so...
Since we've been here...
Mercury has been in retrograde, man.
Yeah, I don't know...
Mercury, man.
I don't know whether you guys even know what that means or what that is. At first I thought it was kind of fun. I was like, oh, Mercury's in retrograde. Haha, my toaster's going wacky. But then I noticed when things... one after the other would not work right, and I don't know how many things even today have just
11
not worked correctly. And you're wondering, Mercury in retrograde, and you go look up on the internet, it's like,
and it started today.
So that happens. I'm surprised Twitch is working at all.
Yeah, I did not anticipate that, really.
So it's you can kind of consider it a fun thing, or you can believe in it. But the coincidences are starting to bother me a little bit, and
Matt's a very skeptical.
And I'm a fairly skeptical person.
He's not really into astrology or anything, so
right? Is it like
funny? Yeah.
Well, we can be affected by certain things. Obviously, a solar flare is the obvious one that can affect
That's astronomy affecting you, kind of.
Yeah. So Mercury being in retrograde could be some sort of bizarre alignment thing. But I've also heard many tech people talk about that too.
Yeah.
Another skeptical friend, and I won't mention his name, mentions Mercury in retrograde a lot. And that guy believes in less than I do.
There you go. Yeah. Like I said, and then our power went out a couple times, and our internet has been up and down the whole time we've been here.
Yesterday,
can't blame it too much on Kansas, but
I was getting set up for the crazy shipping because I kind of have to do a makeshift thing when I'm here. So I was getting prepping for my crazy shipping center yesterday,
like in the basement of our shipping center here.
And Jasmine shot me a text. And eventually I had to turn into a phone call because the printer was acting really weird.
Actually, Maddie, I had texted you many times over the course of an hour, but if you remember when, I didn't even think about this one, when you were plugged in your phone and your phone was not charging, and you thought it was?
Okay, so
I didn't even count that one.
One thing leads to another. I plugged in my phone, and it didn't charge.
Man.
And I thought that was weird. It's charged since, and I have no problems with it. And then I had to charge it upstairs, so I was downstairs in the workroom.
Yeah. Not here, but at our shipping facility thing here.
Right, in the shipping
facility. It's about like 15 minutes from here.
In Kansas City.
In Kansas City, yeah.
And Jasmine had texted me, and I didn't think, to look, and eventually Amber had to say, hey, Matt, Jasmine's been texting, and then I look at, and so that's a communication thing. That's another thing that Mercury in retrograde is supposed to mess up is communication.
Personal communication. Like, even if you're, like, arguing with your brother or something, that's a thing.
So if you get in bizarre fights, or not even fights, just misunderstandings.
Yeah.
Now, it could be because Mercury's in retrograde.
Or what about specific emails I've tried to retrieve today, Maddie, and I have not been able to find? You could chalk it up to that, too. To be fair, that sort of thing happens all the time anyways, but...
Yes, Ren Girl's saying, were you guys bombarded on July 4th? Yes, I have not been able to ship out anything since then.
Not for the ones that specifically require me and Matt's attention.
Right.
A lot of things are ones that our shipping center does.
Yeah.
But...
So I myself like canvas cuties, for example.
Yeah, those are the ones we've got to wait till we have the canvas. We've got the block of wood and
limited
have
editions
to actually make them. Limited editions, I have to actually paint. So if there's like 100 of them and each one takes me half hour, an hour, there's going to be a certain amount of time I have to physically paint them all after Matt prints them, varnishes them, stretches them, puts them on boards, puts a hanger, and then I get to paint them. So,
oh yeah, you were absolutely attacked at midnight.
Yeah.
I woke up and that was like the day we're
driving
out.
Yeah.
So last week was basically driving July 4th and now it's Twitch.
So now it's Twitch.
Yeah, it's been pretty wacky. But I've already started the process of making the products. And now it's just finishing up and shipping them out. And I've gonna grab one of my nephews and put him to work.
Theo. Yeah.
Oh, you're guilty for 4 canvas cuties. Oh, no.
No. Please order them.
Do this.
They're also really good because they use up the scraps of canvas and wood that we don't use otherwise. So that's kind of our recycling thing. It's like, hey, we'll make these tiny little canvases, and that's always good.
Sister Biscuit says, are the new pins going to be in the Patreon only section?
No.
The store, or available to the general public?
It'll be available to the general public, but I'm going to tell people at Patreon first when they go live. So you guys will have an edge if you're trying to scoop some up. Right. We had the last limited edition series I did was a Dia de Muertos one, and it was about 2 years, almost 2.5 years before we sold out, and we had 250 of those. So that, if it could last 2.5 years last time, and they were enamel pins, I would think that the metal pins I'm doing would probably last longer. Most people just didn't like those ones. I don't know what people like.
I don't know what people like. I like the look of these a lot. Personally, in my opinion, I like these better. I was a big fan of the porcelain
pins because they're more sculptural, but I like these metal ones a lot.
I like
because they have all the colors. They look like a tiny little painting.
That's why I like them.
Yeah,
they look like little pieces of Jasmine's art.
They're basically like a metal tile. If you ever encounter those, that people use for home decor or something like that, it's a metal tile.
So I like these because, I mean, gosh, if you have a favorite painting and then it's on a pin, and it looks just like the painting, that's pretty cool. And I think the colors look great on those. The colors are pristine. That's one thing I was kind of not a jerk about, but I wanted to make sure they were good. But
yeah,
you may see a cat walk in the background.
Yeah, you might see a lot of cats walking in the background.
Cameron was walking around earlier. She's sleeping now. I'm wondering is there a kitty near you?
And they are a solid piece of metal. They're not, again, it's not like a little badge you'd make for your, 6th grade graduation. These are actually metal enamel pins. Much like the porcelana pin that we did. It's the same process we use.
I collect the kitty canvas.
Oh. Well, this one here, too, I was thinking about it. I was going to pick 4 of them to put together. This one I picked one that had a main character and then a little friend with it. Like this one has a little pug doggy. This one has a baby sea turtle. This one has a little black kitty. It looks like my Azrael. And this one has a little tree frog.
Yeah, Faces of Fairy 164 is the turtle.
Yeah,
I love that one.
That was a popular one.
Right.
I love that one.
But the one with the cat is my favorite on there because it reminds me of the little Azrael.
That's 170.
If you did a Wizard of Oz set, would it be in the metal style or enamel style?
It'd probably be enamel. Yeah. This is only, again, if anybody can hear me out there, these are meant for small paintings that are a face that are a square. So a tiny treasure, a Faces of Fairy, or a square crop of a larger painting.
Right. So if you think about
if it's not a square painting, it probably won't be on that.
That's always a challenge, cropping things.
A lot of what you do with an enamel pin is the outside part, which is die cut, meaning, where's my little dragon? Here he is. You see how he's got a neat shape, he's got wings and stuff like that. If he was a little square that was just his face, that wouldn't be a very interesting enamel pin. It would look like a square with 3 black lines and a pile of ketchup on top of it. That would not look like an interesting pin.
A specific mold.
Yeah, that's the thing. Enamel pins need a mold, you pour it in, it's almost like a sculpture. If it is a square, there isn't any sculpture involved, and if you were to cut that down to 3 or 4 or 5 colors, it would look like a line with 2 cartoon eyes and nothing else in it, and that would be my whole Faces of Fairy series, so that would be very silly to make an enamel pin of.
Well, people in the room say they predict these will sell very quickly.
I hope so.
One person says they think they'll sell out in less than a month.
Maybe. Again, the last time we did a limited edition series, it was with the enamel ones even, which in a way are kind of way more expensive and complicated to make, and we had those for 2.5 years before everybody bought them. So
very true.
Yep.
Very true.
And it was the same amount, $250.
So
when people say now, it's like, hey, how come you don't have those anymore? I'm like, oh, you could have bought them for years. You just didn't, you know?
Correct.
Yep.
Leela's wondering about cute. Empire of Dirt.
Which is a square.
For those of you who don't know, it is a large square painting.
I worked on that one here at Twitch too. If people want to look back and see that one, that's a really cool one.
And
that was
a
square.
Piece.
It was a square. So if part of a cheek is cut off, it's like, how would you make that in an enamel pin if you're sculpturing it, you know? It would have like a big slash across her face. It would look really bad. So if it's a square and it's a face, that would be a metal pin. It wouldn't be an enamel pin.
Right, but as Jasmine said, people are saying they'd only last a week or two. But as Jasmine says, we did have a limited edition of 250 with
they only
another one that lasted
sold out,
2 years.
So nobody else bought them. So I don't know if they didn't like them or if they thought they were scary. Maybe?
I don't know. It's back then the pins.
That was one of the first sets. That was actually the first time I ever made the pins available on the website. The David Muerta site was there. Yep, they were there with every other first pin, like Marie Masquerade or Pink Lightning or any of those, Voodoo and Blue. Those were up there and nobody bought them. So, or they did. It just took them a few years.
Oh, TWNZ says, I love this painting with the elephant.
Isn't he cute?
Also, we do still have the emails of the people again in chronological order.
Who are requesting the original of this one?
Who are requesting the original. Yeah. And we'll talk to you as the emails came in.
Yeah.
But feel free, if you're still interested in this piece, send us an email.
If you've already emailed us, don't worry. We are taking everybody's emails. We just aren't. I'm just not very far along on this painting yet, so we aren't actually contacting people and say, hey, congratulations. We'd like you to see how the painting turns out before, you send PayPal or whatever. Right. But we do have a handful of people lined up for this one. It's an 8x10. Did we bring the frame for this one, love?
I don't know because I did bring 3 frames that you requested. I'm not sure.
Okay, if that's the case, then it definitely did. There was kind of
Would you like me to
I think I know which one it is.
Can you describe
it to me?
It's the one
that kind of has kind of gold corners, and then it has like a resin kind of wood pattern on it that's kind of camouflagey looking in the middle bit. I don't know how better to describe it. Yeah. It has a lot of sculptural overlay on the top. Yeah, that's
Yeah, forgive us, our studio isn't as large here either, so...
No. My studio here is like 800 square feet. But anyways, this is the frame she's going in, which is quite large, and it's kind of a cool frame, and it kind of has leaves on it and goes with the sort of nature.
I do like the middle part.
Yeah, I do too. It's lovely.
How to describe that?
It kind of blends in with the sort of like if light was dappling through the leaves, etc. And then it's got plants on it that are added sculpturally, and cool frame. Yeah.
Thank you.
That makes I forget what size that makes the painting. It makes it several inches bigger, probably maybe 18 by 20 or something. But the painting itself is 8 by 10. Yeah, that's true. When we're in Florida, people don't see you like walk behind me, do you? Oh, that's funny.
All right, so let's see. I love the Los Muertos pins. I got number 25.
Nice.
Which made me super happy because that's the day of the month I was born.
Oh,
that's
perfect.
Cool. Awesome.
You were born on the 25th too,
I was.
In the autumn.
Mention which month?
Huh?
We won't mention what
I said autumn.
Thank you. What section are the new faces of fairy pins under in the shop?
I'll just be in the pins area.
Right, they won't be. They are not going to be a Patreon.
No, but I'm going to tell you Patreon people like approximately what hour it's going to pop up. So if you are a Patreon member, be sure that you have your email alerts turned on. If you're really, really trying to pay attention to that, then make sure your email alerts on Patreon are turned on.
We're limiting it to 10 per person, but I doubt anyone's going to buy 10.
I don't think anybody's going to buy 10 of those.
We just don't want anyone to go nuts.
40 pins. Yeah, we it's not you guys. It's
like companies
who want to buy all of them and then corner the market and say, hey, they're not $30 or $39.99. They're $139.99. Put them all on eBay, and that's the only way you can get them. I want to make them available to the people who actually collect them, as opposed to people who are just don't care and are making money.
So if we limit them, kind of like how I was looking at seeing how in America at least, Ticketmaster limits people to, I believe, 4 seats that you can resell.
Oh, like for concerts and things.
Yeah, so it's kind of like legitimate scalping. Via Ticketmaster.
Yeah, and
Ticketmaster gets a cut twice.
I don't have a problem with that after everybody's got them and everything. I just don't want people
There's still some that are available from Ticketmaster at the time.
Oh, gotcha.
But these are going to be hot shows like Hamilton. Or...
Yeah, like plays, not concerts, but yeah.
Well, no, you can even do it with concerts.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. So I think that people...
Hamilton was awesome. I liked that.
Yeah, we were able to see the Broadway show Hamilton a few weeks back, and it was nice because, like,
it must be
we
nice.
didn't have the best month last month, and Hamilton kind of made it feel a little bit better.
But Hamilton made it better.
Hamilton made it better, so I definitely recommend.
I think King George made that better. I really liked him the best. He's my favorite part of that.
Yeah, I'm thinking about now about July 4th.
July
and
4th.
Hamilton.
Oh, that's a good point.
And King George. Okay, Harmon says I got to see Hamilton here in KC too. Yes, we have some friends who are friends of the Hamilton, the traveling.
Yes,
group.
and Book of Mormon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tammy says scalpers. Ugh.
Oh, I bet. Oh my gosh.
Now that's different than the guys just hanging out in front
in the parking lot,
and you don't even.
Yeah,
is this a legitimate ticket?
No offense, that's how you make money. You gotta do something, but no, it is a little skeevy. You know that though, right?
And the opposite, really, would be if you happen to be in London or New York, Broadway area, or West Side area, London. You can go to a place called TKTS. And you can get, let's say,
like last minute tickets,
and you don't really care what play
you're gonna see. Yeah. It's like a price line for Broadway or West End shows.
Right. Yeah. So and also they have that. We noticed they have that in Times Square.
Yeah.
So you can always buy cheap tickets, but you're not gonna get an awesome seat at like the Cursed Child or anything. Not
usually. But except if somebody did sell it last minute and they sold it back to the actual theater house, then it might be there. There's no reason it wouldn't be.
When it came through PGH, people bought like 15 tickets and then resold 3 to 4 times as much.
Yeah.
I couldn't afford it.
Well, it's funny because the reason we were talking about that was because that's why we're limiting people to 10 of those, so that somebody doesn't do that.
That's the reason we're
and,
talking.
You could probably check out 10 times in a row and get 100 of them, but give it a day or two, so people can get them.
Oh, Cats is showing at Starlight tomorrow. I've never seen Cats.
I am a big T.S. Eliot fan, but I don't feel like Cats really encompasses the same ideals and lyricism that he has in something like The Wasteland or something. You know what I mean, Maddie? T.S. Eliot is wonderful sometimes, but people took some of the things he did and turned it into cat musicals, which is fine.
Andrew Lloyd Webber specifically.
Really... Well, not naming names, but I think, you know.
What was that?
Well, I mean, how different is that?
I don't know.
Oh, come on, you didn't have to learn about T.S. Eliot. You grew up in St. Louis. He's from St. Louis, isn't he?
Different sort of.
Isn't he from St. Louis, or did I make that up in my head?
I'm not sure.
But yeah, it's from Old Possum's Book of Hilarious Cats, or what? Something. It's not that. It's something like that.
Well, then you have writers who, think about Les Miserables. That was kind of written to
how Victor Hugo-y is that? Yeah. It is pretty Victor Hugo-y because he actually wrote the musical. He meant it as a musical.
Exactly.
That's different.
So that just shows how old that is.
Yeah.
Hey, Jasmine, after this all blows over, why don't we go catch Les Mis?
Thank you, Manny.
Oh, he was born in St. Louis.
Honey, didn't you think about that when you think about famous people who were born in Missouri?
No, I don't. I think about Mark Twain.
Mark Twain, he
think about Brad
certainly
Pitt.
done his writing. You think
about
who?
George Wendt. Those are the big three.
Gillian Flynn.
Oh yeah. Writer-wise, we also have Paul Rudd.
I was talking about T.S. Eliot. Who?
Paul Rudd.
Oh, he's from
Kansas,
you would
you have not seen Ant-Man. but he's in many other things besides Ant-Man. But yeah.
Or yeah, my mom's friend's kid, Jason Sudeikis. He's on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
He was born here, I think.
Okay.
Hmm.
We have
People are born here. It happens.
Oh yeah, and Disney.
Everybody's Walt Disney is
I don't
a
know
very
who that
good
is.
example. Yeah.
What's this? How do you
He's
pronounce
from
that?
Marceline. Disney? What is it?
Disney? Deisner? I don't know.
Walt Eisner is a very different sort of person. He's great, though. Yeah, I mean, he did a lot of early comic... Walt Eisner, the comic things.
Oh.
Not to be confused with Eisner. Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about Bill Eisner. Yes, gotcha. Sorry.
Some people don't like Eisner, but he really did bring Disney into
I'm talking about the comic
level.
person, not the Disney
Back
person.
in the late 80s.
Yes. No, not Michael Eisner. No. That's not what I'm talking about. But yeah, he did. He made The Little Mermaid happen, and that started a whole chain reaction. That's pretty good.
Right.
But no, I was talking about
earlier that decade we had Fox and the Hound, and I'm not saying Fox and the Hound isn't great. I'm just saying Fox and the Hound is not Little Mermaid.
Okay. I agree.
I love Fox and the Hound. I remember those. I don't know. Again,
I like Girl
I know
and
we
Her
have a lot of
Elephant.
Brits. But we had something.
Looking a lot more three-dimensional here. I'm just talking about paint. You can keep talking, love.
Yeah, we had a book fair, and when book fair came to our elementary schools,
was it Scholastic Book Fair?
Yes.
Yay!
It was fantastic. It was my favorite day. Book fair. I cobbled together bits of money, and I bought all I could. And then, like 4 months later, and we didn't even really know the date, the books would finally come in. Why did it take so long for those books to
mail
come in?
order? I don't know. If you think about old commercials that were like infomercials that sold things back then, they'd always say like 8 to 10 weeks for a delivery. And now, you know, you think about Amazon and stuff, and it's like, why did it take 8 weeks to get your weird salad shooter to be delivered from your infomercial at 4 o'clock in the morning?
I lost my copy of American Psycho. Boom. You have it the next day.
Yeah. Did you lose your copy of American Psycho, Manny,
No.
or did you just want another one?
Well, there are ones that have
gets into
different covers.
Catcher in the Rye territory. What's that?
There are ones that have different covers.
Oh, okay.
There's one that has a cover.
You're not talking about the book, though. You're talking about the DVD.
Oh, well, no. I bought the DVD for fun. But
I'm talking about like in the past 14 hours. You're talking about something else. Okay.
Yeah, I was just thinking about...
Well, we've had a lot of Easton Ellis talk around our house here lately.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
I'm currently listening to the very, very short audiobook, Less Than Zero. Which,
and that is not
as you guys know, was made into a feature film in the mid-'80s starring Andrew McCarthy and who's that one guy?
Robert Downey Jr.?
Iron Man? Yeah, of course, Robert Downey Jr.
He has one of my paintings. He's a good guy.
Robert Downey Jr. is pretty amazing.
Hey, he turned his life around. No, also, well, not the character, but in real life he did. Yeah.
Her real name escapes me, but the girl who played Star in The Lost Boys, she's also in Less Than Zero. She plays the romantic interest.
Oh, is that her in it?
Yes.
Huh.
So that is her.
Okay.
And it is a very... I recently heard Bret Easton Ellis do a podcast with Andrew McCarthy, and they were talking about the differences in the... James Spader is in it. Yeah, he plays kind of a jerk in it.
Not James Spader.
Oh, James Spader is a great jerk.
Yeah, I know.
He's a fantastic jerk.
Nice...
Yeah, he plays a
jerkiness.
Really, really good jerk. So anyway, we've got 12 minutes to the first raffle, and we haven't even talked about them.
Oh, yeah. What is the first?
So
raffle?
Jasmine,
okay, yeah,
we have 3 raffles today.
We do.
The first one is going to be the Jack and Sally magnet.
Jack and Sally magnet, yes.
And I didn't take any of the stickers off the back, so I apologize.
Well, hey, that proves that it's from official Disney property.
Jamie Gertz. Yeah.
What's that?
Jamie Gertz is the person who is Star. Yeah. Someone just wrote Gertz.
Gotcha.
But then as soon as
not to be confused with Janny Wirtz, but yes.
No, very different than Janny Wirtz.
Very different.
Famous.
Great people. But,
famous artist, famous author.
Yes, Don Mates' wife.
Yeah, Janny Wirtz is a powerhouse of a human. I don't know how.
She's a magnificent painter and writes really big books.
She gave me one of her books as a gift.
Yeah.
And it was a paperback, and she said, I can give this away. The publisher gave me these. And My hand almost fell to the floor. The thing was so heavy, and I'm like, "How do you do this?"
She's got loads of them, and paints, and is like going around to conventions, and is Don Mates' partner, wife,
she is
or
married
whichever.
to the Don Mates, who's the official artist of
a lot of things. National Geographic. Wait, are you thinking of Captain Morgan?
Captain Morgan,
if you know Captain Morgan, like from the Rum,
fantastic Captain Morgan art.
Yes.
The pirate.
He's a premier pirate painter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does fantastic
if you watch
pirates.
like, I don't know, the Yesterday or History Channel or whatever, and you see paintings that are from something, Don Mates probably painted it.
Janie Wertz,
he's like how James
Gurney
is to dinosaurs.
Of fantasy.
Ooh, anyways, Jack and Sally.
And she also paints.
Yeah.
How does she do both? I don't know.
She paints wonderfully too.
It's ridiculous.
They live down in the Keys in
talent.
Florida, down in the islands off of Florida.
Well, if you're a pirate artist, wouldn't you want to live in Key West?
Yeah, they even have pirate festivals there. So.
Yep. And he is a lovely person.
He is. He's very nice. He's always been very encouraging to me about my artwork, which is nice. I've been seeing him for like 15 years, going to Dragon Con, and he's always a guest artist there. We will not be in the
art show this year at Dragon Con, but if you go down the art show, they're near Janny.
Unless they've moved up to the upper bit too.
Always guests.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll. I don't know 100%, but
they might be in a different part of the show too. The
16
way
years
we
that
are.
I've been there.
Yeah.
And they're always happy to talk, and their booth's always pretty busy.
And Janie Wertz actually does some of the portfolio reviews. So if you are an artist who is wanting feedback, like, hey, you need to do more of this and less of this, and whatever, you're a traditional painter.
And she won't pull any punches. She's a tough love type of
That's
gal.
what I like about her. She is very straight shooting. She's like, oh, that's terrible. Don't stop doing that. Do this instead. Or this is really good. You should keep doing that. Then really take it to heart.
Okay, so Elhurst is like, what are today's prizes?
Oh, yes. I was trying to show that, but you were going on and on about Janny and Don Meats. Okay. Jack and Sally magnet from Disney World. We brought this from Disney World up to Kansas to show it to you now, and I will autograph it with a tiny little metallic oil paint pen. And very lovely. And that is the first prize. What is the second prize?
The second prize is also fantastic, and I don't know if we've given one away. It's the Alice the Wonderland Oracle deck.
Yes. And this is, in a way, very interesting for what's coming up relatively soon. This is Alice the Wonderland Oracle. It's my most recent Oracle deck. Oh, it's
a gorgeous collection of Alice art.
It is all Alice in Wonderland themed. All, I forget how many cards. A wonderful book. It's like 80-some pages and talks about all the pictures, and also treats it kind of like a tarot card deck. It's an Oracle card deck because it's not like there's, 7 of Wands or anything. But it's also a good way to get a whole bunch of very small paintings of mine. Some of them, these, you guys might not know because I don't think they're even on my website. I painted a lot of Alice paintings.
You painted a lot of Alice.
I painted a lot of Alice paintings. But yeah, a lot of really neat ones in here. Unusual ones that aren't usually shown in other merchandise I've done.
That Alice in Clockwork is amazing.
Loads of them. Yeah. Anyways, a lot of these are going to be in the Alice in Wonderland coloring book that is coming out at the end of August, beginning of September. The official
I believe
release
August
date,
7th is your...
September 7th, hopefully. Because I'll be in California on the 7th, yeah. But yeah. Oh, I love this one with the little deer. That's one I was thinking about.
Well, you could have two, Leela, if you win.
Yeah, I like this one. But the little deer.
Alice in the Pond.
Keeping Up. Yeah, pretty much any Alice painting that anybody here knows the name of is in here.
Keeping Up, that's a good one.
Keeping Up is
I like
a good
that one.
One.
So soft.
Yeah, I've just opened this and these are all kind of...
Did you do Keeping Up in London?
I did, yes.
Okay.
Because remember we were in we were in Cornwall at Three Wishes. Remember when we were selling the canvases of it and there was like one that had a problem with their order?
No.
Okay. Don't worry about it then. Wow, this one's old. This one, not old, but this is from like 2001?
No,
it's from 1999, I think.
It's Alice Dreaming.
Alice Dreaming. One of the rare paintings I have where their eyes are closed.
For the longest time, that was my favorite painting of Jasmine.
Because her eyes are closed.
Very cute.
But yeah, some of these are... Oh, I like that one. So is this the second prize on this?
That's the second prize. The third one, as we often do, we do a pin.
Yeah, we usually do pin last because those, believe it or not, you think something like this that has a book and like a million cards with it would be more valuable, but sometimes the pins are more valuable.
And this one was a special pin, a Seashell Collector.
This is one from the Pop Gallery at Disney World. And this is a special one because everyone that we had come in the from the factory ended up being perfect. So we have a few spares of this one. I usually do like maybe 10 extras to make sure that if one gets bent or like the color's wrong or it's got a droopy eye or something, I would have backups. But these ones turned out perfect, so I have several of these. And Jasmine, that will be the last one.
Tammy asked a question that we really don't know the answer to.
Oh, wow. Well, I can try. I might know it. Just you say we, you don't know.
That's true. Well, we wouldn't because
Cheshire Clock. Sorry.
About how long does Disney hold on to the prince before retiring? Anyone know? Alice rocks.
It depends.
Alice is still going strong.
It depends on which painting it is. Like some of them. Allegedly, it's supposed to be about 2 years. Some of them they've had for 8 or 9 years. So if it's still selling well, I think Disney still makes the prints. But typically, it should be about a 2 or 3 year window because they have me do new paintings all the time. And if they kept all of them, eventually it would just be a Jasmine gallery, and that's not, which would be awesome, but that is not necessarily what they're going for. So they usually switch them out with newer paintings after about 2 or 3 years, but some of the more popular ones, like Matt was saying, Alice in the Garden,
I think I painted that. Hands down the most popular. Yeah. Save for the Jack and Sally, but Jack and Sally isn't.
Jack and Sally's a different division of the company, yes, which is why there aren't prints. They've actually got one of the faces of fairy in here. Is that 232? I forget that one. I like that one.
232 sounds right to me. But that Cheshire cat is great. I love how they have matching eyes.
Ottoman birds. They have what?
Matching eyes.
Yeah, I like that too. Anyways, oh wow, this is from my Alice Enchanted show.
Dream, no doubt.
Oh. Probably, unless she was in one of the other decks, because before I decided to do an all Alice deck, we did have some of the cards in previous decks. Like I think Alice and Snow White, for example, is I think in the first deck I did. Oh, there's the Bosch one. One of the billions.
So yeah, people in the room know it's 232.
232, yeah.
And Kay Harmon likes Ray the best.
Likes which one?
The Star Wars ones sold phenomenally.
They did, yeah. Ray and
you can still find Ray. Leia,
I think forever. She's harder to find. The most recent time we've seen her, actually, Maddie, has been in California. I think they kept her in California at Disneyland longer than they did in Florida. So that means that sometimes you can find her on eBay, like from people in California reselling them, which is fine. That's probably your best bet, really, if you're trying to find a Leia. Unless I paint a new Leia, and I would like to, Disney. So,
Rock Kamal asks, do you remember every painting you have painted, or do you forget them sometimes?
I don't know if I forget them
It's like, do you remember every song you've ever heard, or if you heard it, would you remember it then?
Yeah, if I see the painting, I know if it's one I did or one I did not do, which happens sometimes because people make fake ones, like it's something I painted in high school and they're trying to sell it on eBay, and no, I would remember that. But as far as remembering all of them, that would be a lot. As far as ones I've actually printed, like published and made merchandise or fine art prints out of, it's in the 5,000 to 7,000 range of how many I've done over the past 22, 23 years. So it is hard. I wouldn't be able to name them all. Often I'm not very good at the titles because the only reason I've titled a lot of them, and that's why I number things a lot, is because I'm scanning it in and I haven't thought of a title yet. So sometimes it's like, oh, call it this, or hey Matt, why don't you name this one, or something like that. So I'm not able to list all 7,000 of them out of hand because some of them I don't always know.
There have been a few that are, and if you kind of look through the faces of fairy, they're, for one reason or another, they're gone. And often Jasmine was working on the piece at a convention.
Oh, and yeah.
Somebody bought it and took it with them before
I could scan it in.
Before she could even scan it in. So
those might be harder for me to remember because I don't have a scan of them. It's like, like FairyCon or OmegaCon, I'd have a paint, like back when I used to, when it was slower at those things, and I could have it on an easel and I'd be painting it. And if somebody's like, hey, I'll take that, I'll give you this much for it, I'd be like, okay, here you go. And so it never made it home for me to catalog and scan in and make prints of. And if I'd done things over again, I probably should have taken them home and done all that. But at the time when it's happening, I didn't know this is going to be like a big company that people would care about a painting I did 18 years ago. You don't think about that when you're in high school or college that, hey, this is for posterity. I better scan this in and file a thing at the copyright office.
Hey, Jasmine, Tigger has a question while I'm getting ready for the raffle.
Oh, yeah.
What paintings hold a special place in Jasmine's heart? And if she doesn't mind sharing, why?
There are quite a few. Often when they hold a very special part in my heart, I probably mind sharing a little bit because they're probably a little personal. But if they were that personal, I wouldn't have made them into a painting, I would thought. But very often ones that have to do with animals, or the ones that I do that are very art history based, like pretty much any of the Hieronymus Bosch sort of ones, or paintings that are kind of medieval looking, because medieval Gothic era of artwork is one of my favorite times, and that's kind of how I got into artwork to begin with. So I see those and I think about me when I was like in first grade or something, thinking that, Bruegel was awesome, and I like those a lot. Also too, ones that have multiple characters. If you see girls in groups of 3, those are often because first of all, I like the number 3. Second of all, I have 2 sisters, and a lot of when I have 3 people together, I think, oh, that one's me, that one's that sister, that one's that sister. And I've always done that. If I say 3 kittens, I think, oh, that one's me, that one's Kachina, that one's Amber. Matt even does that when you look at things. Yeah. So those are probably ones that I like the best, or ones that I put a lot of time into. Things like Dress Up Sinners, Dress Up Saints. If it's something I spent 2 years working on that one, and I remember what happened to me in my life during those 2 years and what I was into at the time, and I look back at the painting and it just kind of rushes back to me like a touchstone for memories. And those are pieces that I would probably say mean a little bit more to me than the other ones.
There you go. Another person asked,
yeah.
If by the way, Pineapple Princess won. Congratulations!
Oh, you had the giveaway. Okay, yay! And that's for the magnet, the Jack and Sally magnet. Congratulations, Pineapple Princess! You have a great name.
Let's see. Yeah. Jajoki Mom said, "Did Jasmine ever find any of the paintings that were stolen a long time ago?"
Nope. I don't think we found one, have we? I still have the case number for the policeman. It was here in Kansas City,
I don't want to talk about it, really.
Yeah, our home was burglarized in Kansas City.
All I have to say is the effort for the police department was slim to none.
Yeah, they kind of looked around. They're like, I don't see any fingerprints, and they just kind of looked around. They didn't.
This was like 20 years ago.
This would have been 20 years ago, but
it was 20 years ago, and they were burglarizing us anyway.
Yeah.
They stole our PlayStation.
They stole a bunch of my underwears. I remember that. That was gross.
Weirdness.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. I'm not going to mention some of that. It was very gross. Anyways, yeah. I have not yet. But a lot of the ones that are missing were things that I had given to Matt as a present, or like family things, like handmade greeting cards that I had made for different holidays and stuff I would never put on the internet. But
actually, Shaylee, thank you. She says, "I'm sorry that happened to you guys." Anyone out there who that has happened to, you feel it's.
Do you know why that's
very
interesting,
violated.
Maddie?
Why?
Because it's the anniversary. Remember, it was Chris's birthday. It was July 7th.
Oh my God, it was.
It was July 7th.
This happened on
July 7th of 1999.
Oh
my God, it's the 20th anniversary today.
Serious?
Yeah, that would be 1999.
That is creepy that someone mentioned
before we left the main lane house.
Because I remember it was Chris's birthday.
It was Chris's birthday, and it was before we left the main lane house.
Yeah, and he was.
Who's really asking us this now?
Jajoki Mom.
Yeah, okay, I'm joking.
He was wanting to play mini golf or something, and we just. I think we eventually did something with it.
I think we went to Olive Garden or something.
Maybe.
we did something eventually, but we were.
That is Shaylee said, "What a strange synchronicity." That is weird.
That is bizarre. This would literally be the 20th anniversary, because that would have been
has to be
July
it was Chris's birthday.
And we're in Kansas City.
I'll have to tell him that tomorrow. That was weird.
That's kind of odd. Oh, I don't know if I'd tell him that. Well, hey, he might be watching now. He's probably doing fun birthday stuff.
Your car wash was robbed? That's
awful. It was 7/7/20 or 1999. So yeah, exactly 20 years today.
So was he stealing quarters from the car wash?
Pardon? I didn't hear that.
Tammy said her car wash was robbed. Caught him in the pump house.
Oh, like the actual, drugs. Like the cash register?
He walked the next day just a few weeks ago.
Oh, that's awful.
That is awful.
It's always sad when things like that happen.
Yeah, back to happier things.
Invaded. Yeah. I'm gonna wash my hands and go to the bathroom.
Okay, I guess a kitty cat showed up.
Is that Sunshine? Sunshine. Oh no, it's Gammy.
Oh, Gammy?
Wait, I saw Sunshine a second ago.
There's Gammy. I don't know. It was probably hiding in the bedroom.
Probably on top of the cat tower.
Yeah, we apologize for strange ancillary noises you hear. This is not a big studio. Oh, that thing's pretty loud. Or a tornado siren. Your security system, your money box, and someone else's money box. Happened to us too. They took the videotape recorder that had the first 5 years of my kids. Oh my gosh. See, when they take personal items, that's just the worst. You just can't recover from something like that. But yes, happier things. I'm trying to think of something that was happy. Oh, something, I recently saw the movie Midsummer. I definitely don't take kids to it. Yeah, it's a strange movie. It was the movie was, I think, written and produced by the same gentleman that yeah. What was the other movie called? Hereditary. Yeah. 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 Well, he likes for some reason he likes to see smushed heads. I don't get it, but you know, if smushed heads are your thing. But yes, if you go see Midsummer, you might see a smushed head. That's not a spoiler. That's just how this guy writes. It is a weird movie, but it's disturbing also. I would not want to be I mean, it would be a nightmare to be in either one of those movies. Yeah, you don't get out. I will say
Midsummer looked like a nice place to live.
If you like The Wicker Man,
yes, it was very
not
Wicker
the Nicolas
Man.
Cage one. Or if you do like the Nicolas Cage one, you would like this probably, but it's a bit more rough.
I thought it was very well done. I liked
Is it good, weird, or bad? It's good.
I think
it's
give
good.
it lots of thumbs up.
The way you said that, Guillermo del Toro also likes squishy heads.
Yeah.
Guillermo del Toro, he does, but this guy's a different thing. Guillermo
He's
del
only
Toro.
done 2 movies. He did a bunch of shorts.
Yeah.
Ari Aster did, but man.
Okay, well, if you don't like scary films, don't go see it, Ricky.
No, but it's scary. Well, I don't know. You kind of know. It's kind of more dread-filled or something.
Okay, so Kay Harmon saw it too. Yeah, I agree with you. I was expecting horror film, not that the filming style was amazing, being able to showcase visually the different states of being drugged.
Yeah, it had a lot of really interesting and fun psychedelic stuff happening.
Yeah, it was bizarre. You kind of felt like you were there with them when that sort of thing was happening.
That's how psychedelics work. Hey, stop biting me, Gammy.
I thought it was pretty good acting, too.
Oh, the actors were great.
Yeah.
The main girl in it reminds me of my niece Eleanor.
Except short.
Except she, the actress.
Oh, is it kitty time then?
I had Gamera, but she bit me on my already hurt hand. So.
Oh, Gammy's been.
She's been actually pretty good.
She's been good.
I think.
She likes it here. She didn't cry on the way up. Like she.
On the drive.
Yeah, on the drive she didn't cry this time, and I was very proud of her.
I don't have my giant.
Man, she was hard to catch in the hotel room.
I've got like a glass of. Peach
and she growled at me, and I was terrified. Now she's by me.
I did think about grabbing Rio because I can actually see her.
Jasmine, she just totally bit me.
Gamer bit you now?
Yes. It was not hard. It didn't break the skin, but yeah, she just bit.
Coincidences, right? It's like Gamer never bites anybody. To be fair, I've got a lot of recent Gamer bites, but like super recent.
I haven't.
I was gonna try to grab.
I have not watched Stranger Things, nor has Jasmine.
I have not seen Stranger Things. No.
You know what?
I pretty much only watch things that people recommend.
You know what show I recommend? And no, you've seen it. Kidding. Kidding. I believe it's Showtime. Showtime owns it, but it stars Jim Carrey as kind of a Mr. Rogers puppet guy, and it's very good. I very much like Kidding.
Lady
Oh,
I've got Rio.
Rio.
Well, they never get to see Rio. She's easier to catch here because this is one story here. So, Rio.
But I like Kidding very much.
Oh.
And I'd never seen Jim Carrey, save for in living color in a TV sort of way, mostly a movie. But
here's my Rio. You guys don't get to see her very
Mel Bill
often.
says strongly recommend Stranger Things. As you know, Mel Bill, I attend a lot of cons. Everyone has mentioned Stranger Things.
Wow.
So. Oh, we also saw the preview to the sequel of
the second half of
It.
Yeah,
I
definitely want to see that.
Which has been compared to Stranger Things, just because I think
well,
kids are going around on the bike.
Like 4 of the previews we saw at Midsummer were things that were all Goonies sort of kids going off to do things sort of movies, right?
It's people my age longing for their childhood.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Really? I didn't like my childhood that much.
It's been so long, Rio. So beautiful, says VMP.
Yeah, she's still lovely.
She
She's slimmed down a little bit. We've been careful about giving
adorable.
her treats so much.
That cat, I've had a lot of cats in my life.
Yeah.
She is the most aesthetically beautiful. She's like the cat that would be on the cover of
She looks like the ones on cat food containers. You know,
and we
she's
found her in the
lovely.
backyard.
Yeah. She was
tormented
feral.
from a hurricane, too.
Well, they think she might have been dumped, like if people are breeding them, because she's a Egyptian mouse. She's just really fat. She eats a lot of treats, but
yeah, but she's gorgeous. It looks like she has this beautiful eye makeup.
That's why people wear that eye makeup, and that's why the Egyptians wore that eye makeup. They were basing it off of the Mao kitties. They had little black things on the outside of their eyes.
And eventually they'd make a musical out of it.
What's that, babe?
Eventually they'd make a musical out of it.
Yeah, well, yeah, you combine that with T.S. Eliot, and there you go. But I've been adding more highlights onto this. There isn't a whole lot I'm going to do on the underpainting. This is pretty much how it's going to look. I've kind of left this left-hand area amorphous so I can add some plants and ferns and probably some flowers, so it looks like they're going to be in a little hidey hole. But I want to probably set this aside while I let that dry, because the parts that are really light in that are kind of thick. And if you guys are used to, for the artists out there, or if you work with white paints or Titan Buff, it takes a while for them to dry. So if you start putting colors on top, it might start to smudge. I don't want to do that, but I'm going to start working on a tiny little mini painting here. Actually, I need some more masking tape. Yeah.
Leela says, I'm waiting to watch Nosferatu on Netflix.
Oh,
now, I didn't read that.
Is that the Joe Hill
novel by
the Joe Hill one?
By Joe Hill.
Yeah.
And I have not read that one. Jasmine, I was going to, but Jasmine...
There are things I liked about it, but there are things like
that one.
For example, how Matt was saying, I don't know about that guy. It's just a lot of heads getting split open. And I was like, oh, yeah, if you don't like that, you're probably not going to like other things. So.
Well, I don't mind it in a book.
Really? I think sometimes in a book it depends on the person. Sometimes it's worse if you have a good imagination.
Yeah.
It could be way grosser than whatever you're going to see in a TV show or a movie, right?
The thing is,
I don't know. Depends on the person.
Sometimes when you contextualize something like a head getting smashed in a novel, it works better. If you just suddenly see it, not to say that there wasn't good context.
Well, part of the reason, if you're talking about like the things that happened in Midsummer, that's why they would do that. It would be intentionally unexpected, jarring.
Yeah.
Or in his first movie, like if you think about Hereditary, like the little girl with the car.
Yeah,
I mean,
that still messes with me.
Shouldn't a good horror movie still mess with you?
Ugh.
You know, it's not like a Friday the 13th sort of slasher movie thing, which is everybody's just laughing at and throwing popcorn.
No, that doesn't have a lot of substance.
It's actually something that stays with you, and if something stays with you, it means that they kind of did their job, right?
Grinchy just started watching Big Little Lies. I watched a bit of that.
Oh yeah, I've seen those. It has Nicole Kidman in it. So.
It does.
Yeah, I've watched it, and I've read the book.
It has all the ugly blonde females. Yeah, horrid looking people.
I think Matt's trying to be sarcastic. Don't yell at him. Okay. But,
no, I'm joking.
She's a redhead, but yeah.
Oh well, Nicole Kidman is naturally a redhead, but she works the blonde pretty good.
Yeah, the new season has started, and they added Meryl Streep to the mix as the mother of Nicole Kidman's former husband.
Oh, well,
and
I'm not a big Meryl Streep.
You know, I don't know if I've really given it a thought before, but she's a very good passive-aggressive sort of mother-in-law. I think. I mean, she's very polite and very kind of. They mousy her up a lot, and they make her seem older than she probably is. But she's like trying to get custody of like Nicole Kidman's kids and everything, and she's very, very passive, aggressive. It's well done, I think.
Oh, Grinchy just ordered the Hamilton Collection Cleopatra.
For which? Oh, for Cleopatra.
Oh, and Casablanca just rescued a baby bat.
A baby duck?
A baby bat.
Baby bat. Aww.
It might not be a baby. Are you sure it's a baby? Because bats can be tiny.
Sometimes bats are like.
But if you know about bats,
but yeah, if it's a baby, you'd probably know it was a baby.
But yeah, I might check out Nosferatu. I don't know.
Yeah. Again, man, if you're worried about.
Horns was pretty good.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying Joe Hill specifically. He's very talented. I just mean if you're talking about things that might make you uncomfortable if you're watching it. Gotcha. I thought it was good, but I don't know if I would recommend it to you.
You've always said that I should steer clear of Requiem for a Dream because it's too tragic.
Yeah, you know how you're talking about, oh, those people fell off and their heads got smashed and it still bothers me. You know, that's the sort of thing that would probably bother you. That's a great movie. We can watch it after this if you want, honey. It's not that big a deal.
No, what I'm saying is sometimes if it stays with me, that might be a compliment to the film. Or maybe I need that. I don't know.
Isn't kind of the point of somebody making artwork? It's something you think about maybe even years after it happened?
It's certainly. I need to be jarred every now and then.
Okay, well, that's a good one. Also, you know what? It's got Ellen Burstyn in it. You're talking about the Nick Cage Wicker Man, the redo that Nicolas Cage was in.
She's great.
She is the lady of the Beehive, sort of in charge lady on that.
I'm not a big...
But she's the mom in Requiem for a Dream, I think.
I'm not a big fan of the Nick Cage Wicker Man. And I felt so bad for the Ellen Burstyn character because she's such a good actress.
She's a great actress, and there are a lot of great actresses in that. Nick Cage does some really good things in some very specific movies. I'll give him that. But
also,
I'm a big fan of the original Wicker Man. I knew the songs from it and everything.
I saw the
like
first
my
Wicker
stepmom and my Renaissance Fair family all know the music, and you know, it was weird to see a remake of it. It's like when they remade The Prisoner. Did you see any of that, Maddie?
I didn't bother.
I watched I don't know, a minute and a half of it on the internet, and I was just like, no, this just makes me feel weird.
The original Prisoner, I don't see how they could.
I like Patrick McGowan. He was
that's
lovely.
One of those series that I believe it's a perfect circle, actually. I think there's a lot of cleverness there. I
could see some argument about including the ones that when they padded it out to like 26 episodes instead of 13 episodes, but they're all good, and it's, I don't know. I like that show.
No, it's a commitment, but I love Prisoner.
Compared to some series that have like 100 episodes, or you know, it has 26. That's not bad.
But I'm also a fan of the Dune movie, which a lot of people hate.
The David Lynch Dune movie?
Yes.
Well, that's one of my favorite movies of all time.
That movie...
That's part of why I liked you, is because you said you liked that movie.
Well, that movie...
And the old movie book I used to have had a turkey symbol. Instead of... It had like 5 stars, 1 star, or whatever. Or it had a turkey. And they gave it a turkey, meaning it was like, didn't deserve a star. I love that movie.
Yeah, that movie changed cinema for me. That movie is what made me fall in love with movies. That makes sense. Even though I was a kid who grew up at the drive-in, something about Dune changed my head. It was certainly I came of age with the silver screen with David Lynch's Dune, and then I didn't know who David Lynch was. I didn't know that he was supposed to be this weird artsy guy. But I felt it apparently when I saw it. I could tell that something different was happening here that I had not seen in other films, and it really affected me.
I came from a slightly different angle because I had read the book before I saw the movie. And my dad...
At a very young age.
Oh, yeah. I read that book at a time I probably should not have been reading that book, but I could say that about a lot of things.
Oh,
but my dad was always trying to show it to us, and he was like, "Oh, watch this!" And I think we watched it 4 nights in a row, and Kachin and Amber both kept falling asleep every night when we were watching it. It was like, eventually I'm going to see this through, and my dad would always rewind it it was VHS back then, and by like 15 minutes. So there are parts of it, even the first time I watched it through, I probably saw the whole movie 4 times before it was even over, if that makes sense.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I understand what you mean.
He did that, and that with the Bhagavad Gita that they showed on PBS back then. And my sisters would be like, "No more blue people."
The Bhagavad Gita is the
as it is
it's scripture for the Hindu religion. And it is just
they did a wonderful dramatized.
The translation is "as it is."
How things are. It was also the only reason I mentioned it was on the same 6-hour VHS tape that we had. That had Dune on it, and we tried to watch it around the same time. And also my sisters were sleepy at that, but we were little kids. Nobody would bother trying to show people that now if they were children. Right. I don't think.
Westworld.
Maybe in India.
Kay Harmon says Westworld movie was way ahead of its time. It certainly was.
Yeah.
And you can see how much was pulled for the Terminator movie.
Or the Terminator movie pulled from it, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah. Definitely.
Very, very similar.
You know what's terrible is the movie of Westworld 2, the sequel. Remember how awful that was?
Westworld 2, it has good actors in it too.
Well, it does have good actors, and it really brags on having Yul Brynner in it, and he's like in one dream sequence, which is mostly dancing, which is weird.
And it's also traumatic.
Yeah.
Because it's weird.
Yeah.
Another if we're talking about 70s dystopia,
as one does. Yeah.
Logan's Run had always been one of my favorite films. I like the Planet of the Apes stuff too. The first one in particular, first Planet of the Apes movie is good.
Matt's a little bit older than me, so a lot of those I didn't really know until I was older, probably.
You have to realize that was.
No, I'm explaining why I might not like them as much because I didn't really see them when I was at an age that I would be sculpted at. I don't know.
Right, and I would rewatch these films they show them at the drive-in.
Yeah, if you guys are just joining us, Matt's father used to be a projectionist at a drive-in movie theater. So some
here in
movies
Kansas City
that were out at that time period, Matt has seen hundreds of times over and over again. So he has very specific ideas about movies.
So I've seen Star Wars a ton of times just cause.
And I didn't see it until I was a grown-up, really.
Right.
So I'm not a good person to ask sometimes.
I think Tammy remembers the Hart Drive-In.
Oh, really? Oh, here in Kansas City? Where was it, really, here?
No, I was such a small... I don't know.
You don't remember?
I can't remember.
Do you remember if it was like out by Belton Grandview, or was it
No.
Was it on the Kansas or Missouri side? Missouri?
Yeah, I think it was... I don't know where it was.
It's not what turned into the drive-in that Sonia and Paul and everybody go to, right?
That was a different drive-in altogether. Okay. I think originally, or not originally, in the 70s, I think Kansas City had 5 different drive-in theaters.
Wow.
I think. But there's nothing like a drive-in. That's really the best way to see a film.
Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes I like seeing movies at drive-ins a lot, obviously, but sometimes I think it's harder to pay attention if you're being really picky about movies, if you're there and children are doing cartwheels and people are having a cookout and you've got 8 dogs and a couch in the pickup truck,
I love it.
The experience is wonderful. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying as far as cinematography, it might be harder to, I don't know, quantify.
Kansas City has only one now, but it's awesome though, says Kay Harmon.
Yeah.
Jasmine's stepsister loves it.
Yes. Our website admin at streetsong.com.
Yeah, they often I think they bring a couch,
Yeah, they have a pickup truck, and they have a couch in the back of their pickup truck, and they bring any number of dogs and friends and possible children and coolers of beer or whatever in the back of the pickup truck. This sounds so Missouri right now.
So if any of you guys ever thought that we are these traveling jet setter, whatever, just remember that every now and then we'll go to the drive-in and we'll bust out
That ain't our kin.
out a couch and watch it. I mean, yeah, that's how it works.
We're very fluid with the idea of couches. I mean, how long did my dad have?
Well, he had these car seats.
Car seats for actual furniture in his house. He lives off the grid, so he probably isn't watching me now. If you're not, I love you, Daddy. Thanks for watching. But
he's not gonna watch.
I know that. I'm just being polite. Unless you are.
Three seats that you could take out of the a Chevy Astro.
Yeah.
He had that for a couch for I don't know how many
years. It was like the middle part of a car. Yeah.
So yeah.
A minivan.
And we just had July 4th, so.
Yeah, that doesn't feel trashy at all.
Our midnight union meetings were at the movie theater in Overland Park. Our president was a projectionist.
I don't know the one in Overland Park. I really don't know that much about Overland Park. I always lived on the Missouri side until fairly recently when we got this place here that's on the Kansas side.
This is it. It was always Missouri.
I was technically born in Kansas, though. That was an accident because my parents, their main doctor was out of town or something on the Missouri side. So I got born in Kansas, and all the rest of my family were born in Missouri. And they've always held it against me. No, they haven't, except for when they do.
I don't see why one would be superior.
I don't see that either, but I don't really care.
I remember growing up. I grew up in a. If we're going to talk counties.
I was going to say, you're going to start talking counties now. Counties. Not state line, but counties. Oh my goodness.
Jackson County. And I remember being in Jackson County as a child, and they always had issues with people in Johnson County. I assume vice versa. Well, and I never understood the feud there. I don't know if it's still like that.
Well, when I was a kid, we didn't even really talk about Kansas that much because we were in Missouri. We did sometimes talk about, not Johnson County, but Wyandotte County would be the one that would have been across from a lot of the places. Like if our school was going to go to like a math Olympics thing or a science Olympiad or something, it would be the people who are over on that county.
Jasmine,
so,
what's the bidding starting at the mini here?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, sometimes I just start painting and I don't think about what's going on. I don't know. What do we usually charge for a mini on the website? It's
$5.95.
$5.95. Okay, we'll start at that. That's fine. Oh, and I have a frame that she goes in too. You don't have to take her, but I have a frame that she goes in that I like. Yeah, I love this frame.
Okay, $600 then. I have to.
So yeah, she'll go in this
now
frame.
I need to do.
You don't have to get this frame, but the frame is free. The frame is extra, or it's a bonus gift from you to me, and we will put her in there. And I will be working on her for a little bit. And then after the elephant paintings dry, I'll probably start working on that a bit.
Mimi's like, let's get down to business, guys.
Sorry.
Don't be sorry.
Shouldn't be reminiscing about times before I was born.
No, that's what we talk about.
That's fine.
I'm just
here's a little this will be I haven't even really talked about it, have I? This would be a custom painting. So I'm kind of painting a random girl sort of character that I would paint often, and whoever wants to buy her, apparently somebody is willing to give $600. Usually when they're finished, I start them at like $5.95 on the website. They go within, I don't know, 8 seconds. I don't know. Matt probably pays attention to that.
Oh, that's mad.
On the website. Yeah, I'm trying to actually downplay that right now because I need time to make more mini paintings. But for now, here's a custom one. So I'm going to paint the character, but with not adding any color. Like her eyes could be any color, her hair could be any color, her skin could be any color. She could be a mermaid, she could be a fairy, or you could put a picture of your house in the background or your pets or, whatever. And that's what we're working on here. We've done a few of those. Some of you guys remember the one I did.
We got a 625.
The Hawaiian one I did that was really neat. It had like a whole. They sent me a picture of a Hawaiian beach they had been to and that they took a photo of, and I painted the whole Hawaiian land. That's the tiniest landscape I've ever done. It was like 1 inch by 1.5 inch. I got tiny brushes. I cut 2 of my brushes in half to paint that, to make tiny little palm trees and things like that.
Jasmine.
Yeah.
Ricky really wants me to tell you that she loves the frame.
Oh, excellent. Oh, yes. That means it probably... I apologize if you emailed us and let us know or something, but thank you so much for letting me. Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. Yay.
I only had time. I think I sent her a smiley face.
Okay.
I was crazy busy at the time, but
yeah,
she also sent a pic, and it looked great.
Yay! So that makes me happy to hear. I'm sure she's very happy to be reunited with her picture frame, because it was kind of scary bringing her on the airplane and like trying to hide her under my hair in like a coat or whatever. Yay!
Yeah, $6.55.
That's awesome.
Because I need to buy groceries, and I always spend exactly $655 at the grocery.
I don't think I've ever spent that much on groceries, but no.
I think
at a restaurant maybe, but not groceries.
We bought when we bought some wine in London.
I've never spent that much on groceries.
I thought we
bought cheap wine in London. That was like $8. Where?
I don't remember now, but I swear we had.
Don't confuse it with a restaurant. I will spend money in a restaurant because the restaurant and the servers and the waitresses are making money.
Huh? We're the couch at the drive-in people.
Yeah.
We're at $6.75.
I think I've spent about yeah.
Okay, so I can spend my now we're at $6.80, so I can spend my $6.55, and now I have $35 left over.
Don't spend it at the grocery store. I can get actually this.
I don't
time
know how
of year,
to spend that much money at a grocery store.
I get free groceries from my dad this time of year, by the way, because he has a farm. That's nice. Like half the groceries we have here are like dried okra and stuff in
Jane loves
jars.
the frames. They make your paintings look awesome.
I think so.
$700.
It's funny. Some people really don't like the frames I choose, but
that's okay.
But I like them.
It doesn't hurt anyone's feelings.
And you can always change them later if you don't like them.
Yep.
Actually, if you are a person who has bought paintings of mine and you don't like the frames, let people know in the collectors group on Facebook. Because some people have paintings that don't have frames on them, and they're like, can I get a Jasmine frame for this? And you might have one in your garage, getting motor oil leaked on it or whatever, and it might fit on that.
So Jackie's at 705. It looks like Jackie, Mimi, and Nikki are gunning.
All the people who end with E.
True.
Like me. I'm not putting any
Mimi's
colors
still
on
in
these.
Hawaii.
What's that, babe?
I wonder if Mimi's still in Hawaii.
I don't know. Is she in Hawaii?
I think so. I thought she was.
It's funny. I always think about a place that people... Well, if you have family there and stuff, obviously it's different. But I was thinking that a place that people would go in the winter to escape the Midwestern awfulness of our cold,
We're at
terrible places. So I'm intentionally only using, here is the color that I mixed in with the gesso. I don't think I showed this broadcast, but I have done on different broadcasts. If you look back on my archive here on Twitch or on YouTube, you can see how to mix gesso, and I have things about how I make a background color and how I use the same sort of color but without the plaster of Paris mixed in with it to make the gesso, how I will use that to blend a face tone or anything that is three-dimensional. Like in the little elephant here. He and his little friend here are going to look very different when they have colors added to them. But what I'm doing here is just trying to make it look like a little sculpture, like the areas that are lighter and the areas that are darker. So when I'm doing like custom things like this here at Twitch, when people are bidding on it or whatever, I like to build up a lot of areas with shadow and light and not put any color in it. Because if somebody wants it and he decides that's like, hey, I want to have purple skin and green eyes and brown hair and put an eagle and put a picture of my house in it and maybe my Jeep also, stuff like that. I could totally do that, but I'm not going to be doing it this level.
Can be important to some people.
Isn't that isn't there a type of Jeep called an eagle, or am I thinking of something else? Is it? I don't know. Some sort of SUV is called an eagle.
Jeep, something.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Doesn't Chrysler own Jeep now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think.
Is that Daimler too still?
I don't know, Jasmine.
Sorry.
Did Michael Eisner have something to do with it?
Probably not.
Wasn't he?
I was talking about Will Eisner, anyways. I wasn't talking about Michael Eisner.
What car company was he the CEO? Michael Eisner.
I really don't know. Well, yeah. Maybe it was Chrysler.
Oh, we're not talking about giant crazy frames, Jane. So if you ever have a spare
No,
I'm not gonna make frames for. I just can't.
For what?
Jane wants me to make a frame for her Innsmouth mermaid. I can't.
Is it the original is in a really neat frame for Innsmouth mermaid? It's one that had like it looked like kind of like sea urchins on the corner.
Cashew time.
Are you talking about Are you talking about Prince Love? Or are you talking about the originals?
I don't know. That's just I'm reading what's on the screen.
Oh wait, I didn't know if anybody got the original Innsmouth mermaid. She was in a really cool frame that had corners that looked like sea urchins. Is that what you're talking
that frame was cool. I did not make that one.
When you said you would not make one for Innsmouth mermaid, what do you mean? Like a little one?
She might want one for a canvas print or
Oh,
something.
for a print.
I have one.
Oh, yeah.
We're at 765.
Oh, excellent. But no, if Matt makes a frame, it takes longer for him to make a frame than it does for me to make the painting. So if I do a painting that's, $15,000, I don't know how I would quantify the price of a handmade frame that takes
it's an LE
twice as long. Oh, okay.
Those look good in frames too.
Yeah, they do look very good in frames, but
at least they're standard size.
Yeah, that should be a 24. If it's Innsmouth Mermaid, that should be a 24 by 18 frame, and you can find a lot of really cool frames that are already made.
And if you find one that doesn't have,
email me, and I can send you links to some places that you can find cool frames for that. Because if Matt was going to make one, I'd be like, hey, that'll be another $8,000, and you probably don't want to do that for a print as opposed to like the original painting. If you spent 20 grand on the painting, then maybe 8,000 doesn't sound a lot. But if it was for a print that you got for $500, then you probably wouldn't, unless you do want to, and then maybe you guys can talk. So
no.
You don't think
770?
No. I'm going to take some darker colors on here and try to make her lash line a bit better. I don't know how good you can see this.
We have peanuts, but not cashews. 800.
Let's see.
All your paintings come from the dollar store for your prints. Good for you, K. Harmon. That's smart.
Yay. Well, it depends what sort of frames you're looking for, but that's definitely a good way to hang those up.
Yeah, I'm going to get some peanuts in, because I don't think we have cashews, do we?
Well, I don't think we have cashews here in Kansas yet. I think we have some.
We ate it.
We did. We ate all the almonds that were from my dad's house, but we have that canister that is clear glass that has like coffee filters in it to make a difference between the different types of nuts. That's peanuts in there, love. Also, I have a bunch of pine nuts. Is that helpful? No, probably not. I don't think so. Hey, look, you're on the TV, I think. I can't tell if you're on the TV, but you're probably on the TV. Hey, camera. Just staring into space there, love. Okay.
All my frames are black. Says Leo. 805.
Printing them.
All my frames are brown. My frames are brown.
And the sky is gray.
Sky is.
We'll be in California not too long, huh?
Yep.
For the 50th anniversary.
Can you make pesto with those pine nuts? Yeah.
Yeah.
Jasmine makes pesto.
I make pesto all the time. I make weird pestos though. I do like walnut, arugula, and like old dandelion pesto. I like making pesto. I'm putting some dark areas on the side of her face, not because that area has to be dark. If somebody's like, oh, put her underwater and make it look like the Caribbean, I can very much do that, but I'm just trying to make a line that is turning into her face without putting a cartoonish kind of line on her face. If that makes sense. And I need to draw her arm a bit more. There we go. I can tell she's not like a weird kind of stump there. She's gonna have an arm and her torso there.
California Dreamin' stuck in my head.
What's up, baby? California Dreaming?
Yeah.
Yeah. Gosh, I've read so much about Cass Elliot lately.
Mama Cass?
Yeah.
Why?
It's actually 3 unrelated murder inquiries, and then I was thinking about maybe they weren't because they all mentioned Cass Elliot. So I don't think she killed anybody at all. I'm sure she's fine, but yeah.
Gosh, I remember everyone said she swallowed on a chicken bone or swallowed on ham. And that
choked
was like,
on?
Choked on, yeah. Not swallowed on.
I believe it's swallowed on, Manny.
Swallowed?
You're in Missouri now. Oh, actually, we're in Kansas now.
$9.50.
Oh, hey. But no, it was several different, well, I've been reading some speculative murder novels, so.
You?
Not me, no. Yeah, they were 3 audiobooks in a row that were Cass Elliot centric in a way, or tangentially, not centric, but yeah.
That's really?
Yep. Do you want me to list them? Because I will tell you. Everybody can read these. This isn't me being speculative. This is other people being speculative. First of all, you've got the Tate LaBianca thing. Then you've got Steve Hodel. Do you know who he is?
No.
Okay. He was the captain of homicide for the LAPD for a while, and he wrote a kind of convincing book about his father possibly being the Black Dahlia murderer.
Oh.
And he had some very good points in his first book, but then he came out with a book like 8 days ago about how he thinks his dad is also the Zodiac killer. And then it's like, okay, all right, who's next? Jack the Ripper? You know,
it turns out his father was actually Charles Manson, yeah.
Yeah, well, that would have been the first bit, because to be fair...
He thinks his dad is Zodiac, and he thinks his dad...
Well, I understood that.
Does he think his dad's a Hillside Strangler also?
No. Well, I don't know. Maybe.
My God.
I'm not going to limit him, but if he was not the captain of a homicide investigation for the LAPD for 25 years, I would take him less seriously. But the first one of the Black Dahlia made sense. He had photos, and it's like his dad was a weird guy and had a lot of weird connections with people and all that. But I was like, okay, I could see that. That made sense. But when it was the Zodiac thing, that was kind of pushing it. So I think it would be funny if, not that I would write things like that, if somebody were to write one where he thinks his dad is also Jack the Ripper. You know, that would be kind of hilarious. I don't know. I have a different idea of what's funny. What's that, babe?
Thinks his father was Ted Bundy.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Well, he talked about the even like the East Area rapist and the it's supposed to be family friendly here, but the Golden State Killer and stuff like that. But yeah, so
the Golden State Killer. I mean, you hear his name and you think, wow, it's Golden State. He might be kind of chill, but no, he's the Golden State Killer. Awful person. But what's cool is 1,000.
Hey, all right.
What's cool is the second person I've heard of that was caught by something like Ancestry.com.
Oh, yeah, like doing communal sort of genetics. Yeah,
and that was really cool.
A lot of people live in California. Yeah, that's true.
They the cops, FBI, whoever was looking into it. Found out who had been the one of the suspects had been the actual murderer, because they found his family via his DNA, because they sent in his DNA.
Yeah, and they didn't know who it was.
Saw who he was related. Yeah. So we have to be careful now if we're murderers.
You don't have to be careful if you're a murderer. You have to be careful if you have a family member you think might be a murderer, and don't go up to Ancestry.com, I guess. I don't know. Unless you want to, and you're trying to very, very passive-aggressively sort of put that out there.
If one of my family members was a murderer, I'd have a lot of...
I am not getting into that one, but... Not your family, love. Not your family. God, no. God bless.
Wait. There was a really cool reality show, the great grandson of H.H. Holmes, trying to prove he was also Jack the Ripper. Super interesting.
I have heard arguments for that. I think the timeline doesn't work really well, but I am one of those weird people who remember stuff that they see, and I like the H.H. Holmes story. That is very interesting. I keep hearing that they're going to make that version of Devil in the White City that has Leonardo DiCaprio. I don't know if they're going to. If they make a movie version of it, that'd be... It's such a weird, complicated story. I think people would find it intriguing, at least. And I feel in some ways it's been long enough that it's not like a too soon issue, but I don't know.
Too soon?
Like, if you're going to make a fictionalized movie of something and people are still alive who lost family members or siblings or parents or grandparents, yeah, I could see folks not wanting to be involved with that.
1100. 1100.
Oh, for the painting. Gotcha. Yeah. Thank you.
Welcome.
Keep working on her.
Groceries.
Groceries, man. I need some more groceries, too.
One of the Chicago post offices is on a part of where the murder castle was.
Is it really where his house was? Oh. I always thought you would like the book, Maddie, Devil in the White City.
Yeah, you recommended that.
Yeah, it talks so much about not just the murders, but Matt really likes world fairs.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. It is 90% of that book is World Fair stuff, which is the White City part of it. That's when they built the weird structures in the town when they're there, and their buildings and weird hotels by it, and it's got kind of an Epcot feel to it, you know?
That's so cool.
And it was part of the first introduction for standardized electricity through a whole big mass of people that were there, and they they had millions and millions of visitors. It was amazing.
Those expos used to be so innovative.
Yeah,
you know,
they might still be. I have not. No, they still have World Expos. They aren't usually here in America. They're World Expo. So remember we were in Shanghai when the World Expo was happening, but we missed it by 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, I was okay with that. That would have been so crowded.
That's true. If you're visiting somewhere, and it's like going to somewhere that the Olympics is being held, if you're going there during that time, it's going to be really super crowded. We wouldn't have been able to get a hotel room. We already got booted out of our hotel room. Remember in Shanghai?
Oh, I don't know if I could say without getting...
I don't know. They can't show this in China. No. Yeah, there was a governmental issue with some people staying there that got to take preference over us for our reservations.
Basically some members of this a certain party.
A certain party in China.
Of that government got to kick us out of our hotel room. And,
yep.
But
they put us in a nicer hotel than we were going to stay at. So it's like we got upgraded, but we had to walk a block and a half later. But who knows what was happening in that hotel, though, when we weren't there.
Yeah, we weren't there near long enough.
No. We were there very briefly. It's when we were circumnavigating Kyushu in a boat. As one does. What's that?
Got to see Korea.
We did. We went to South Korea. We went to
Busan.
We went to Busan, and where did we go to in there where we saw the... we went to the UNESCO World Heritage Site where they have the big mounds. I'm trying to remember the name of it.
I don't remember.
Okay. I'll look it up later. It's not spelled out in our usual language, so I probably wouldn't be able to.
We have about 13 minutes till raffle. Oh, 1200.
Oh, 1200, yay! Probably work on her for a little bit more. I could always call the price at, hey, we could do it when the raffle is.
Okay, I'll do it.
Why don't we do that? That'd be easier.
So those of you bidding, we're going to close bidding at, how
many?
13 minutes.
12 minutes, 13 minutes? Okay.
On the hour, whatever hour it is.
Whatever time zone you're in, that hour.
12:05.
Okay. And again, it's not just going to look like this. You can tell me, hey, put my dog in that painting and make the character look like me.
Or it could just look like that.
Or it could look just like
it's
that.
Ready. It's out now.
You know, I haven't had anybody have me do the whole painting like that. But I remember somebody asked me if they could buy a print of it before it was finished. Like when I think that's when I was auctioning it off on eBay. Remember that, Maddie? And I used to always put a question mark off to the side. It's like, hey, who knows what's going to go here? And they had me include a print with the painting that they told me how to finish. I sent them a print of it being halfway done. I think it was so they could say, hey, this is what it looked like. This is what I told them. Which is kind of fun. I get that. It's a neat thing to get something customized just for you. Or your family, or for a special occasion, or whatever.
So our second raffle.
Oh, which one's that? Is that the Alice in Wonderland thing? Okay, yeah. Oracle deck. Alice in Wonderland Oracle deck. And I will sign this. I haven't signed this one yet. But it comes in a box. And the book is written by Lucy Cavendish, who is one of the best Oracle deck book writers. And that sounds silly, but that is definitely a thing. That's how you win prizes. She wins so many prizes for writing Oracle deck books.
1,300.
Nonsense. Sorry, I'm just reading these. The every chapter in here is based off of one of the illustrations, and they don't have to be Alice in Wonderland specific. It's kind of like if you're asking, hey, should I take this new job? Should I do whatever? Or you can be, I like these paintings. I've got 50 some paintings. I want to put them in tiny frames I got at Walmart, and it's a way to get a whole bunch of tiny paintings.
1,305.
But I like this one a lot. And Blue Angel Publishing, they're the same people again that are making the Alice in Wonderland coloring book that is coming out at the end of August, at the beginning of September. We're having the special event on not August 7th, but September 7th at Disney Springs in Florida. Because August 7th, I'm going to be in Disney at California. So
yes, Florida, Land of Flowers and Alligators.
Yes. Has anybody read The Orchid Thief? That's a good book. There's a movie about it I have not seen. It has Nick Cage in it called Adaptation. That is a movie version.
What's Nick Cage's best film? Was that National Treasure 2?
Nope. I have not seen that, but probably not. It's probably going to be a David Lynch movie, like A Wild at Heart, maybe? That's a good one.
What time is it where you guys are?
Right now, it's Central Standard Time.
4:50.
So, yeah, almost 5 o'clock.
So,
here our time.
16:50.
So, yeah. We're usually in Eastern Time Zone, but we're right now in Kansas, so we are on Central Time Zone. Sometimes, too, we are in California, so we're Pacific Time Zone there. And then when we're in London, we are in almost, I think, GMT, aren't we? Greenwich Mean Time? Or more or less? Sort of. Yeah. Well, Greenwich is like, well, it has to be, because Greenwich is, what, a half hour from London?
Yeah.
So, isn't that what they base the time zones on?
Oh, yeah, Shaylee, we're an hour behind.
Hour behind where we are in Florida, usually. Yeah.
Yes, GMT is London.
Okay, thought so.
You guys are so cool.
Well, it's like if you get like a new computer and it's like, are you GMT minus 700 or, you know? In London, we're GMT.
Speak English. GMT minus 700.
Greenwich Mean Time minus 700 would be where we are now, right? Are we 7 hours behind London?
I don't know.
Or is that when we're in Mountain Time or Pacific
know.
Time? Okay.
I know that it's 23:51 in Norway.
Okay. Huh?
$1,400.
Oh, I thought you were talking about time zone still.
Yeah, it's confusing.
So you're talking about 1400. I'm like, do you mean 2 p.m.? No, okay. Well, thank you.
14:05.
Yeah, oh, that's like 5 minutes later. Like your little nosy nose.
We've got 8 minutes till raffle and 8 minutes till we're wrapping up this little auction here.
Yay. I could also probably move her eyebrows around a little bit or make her look more grumpy or more smiley. I can always make them look more smiley. A lot of the paintings I've done where my characters are smiling more tend to be commissioned pieces. So those are kind of rare, and some people really like to find those ones. They're like, this one's smiling, and it would be from a commission usually. Or sometimes maybe a Disney one or something like that. To be fair, I guess the Disney ones are kind of commissions, but they don't really tell me what to do other than the character and the style sheet and the color palette.
Jaylee says, haha, I found out not long ago that the time in Bristol was slightly different to the time in London, and it altered once the train line was added.
Oh, yeah.
1505.
Well,
1650.
A lot of places where time zones were, it used to be because that's how far it was based on the sun, which is why in America it's called standard time or daylight time. And for a while they were trying to make the whole country all one time zone. The way, is India like that? I think India is all the same time zone, and it's a half hour off.
Oh yeah, that was weird.
So it all ends with 30 if you're talking about GMT. They're just, I don't know, they're just trying to be different or what. But India is huge. It's practically it's a subcontinent, and
the most most foolish move on this planet would be to go to India and try to change anything.
Yeah.
1655.
You don't change India. India changes you.
Sound like Yakov Smirnoff.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hey, it's in Branson, right?
What's that?
It's in Branson.
That's true, yeah. Yeah. I got a cousin down in Branson. The natural area around Branson is beautiful. The Ozarks are lovely.
Yes, the Ozarks are lovely.
The actual, trees and hills around there.
Southern Missouri, northern Arkansas is beautiful.
Yeah. It kind of looks like a Colorado or something.
And Eureka Springs is neat.
Eureka Springs, Arkansas is
It's kind
lovely.
of
Actually, Eureka Springs has some
hip.
cool people at it. It's kind of counterculture-y as far as that part of the country goes. So I like Eureka Springs.
The Ozarks are where the Midwestern hillbillies versus the Appalachian sort.
I don't want to pass judgment on people.
1700.
Especially family members. What's that, babe?
1700.
Oh,
where they used to live.
Thingy. Yeah.
I don't know how many hillbillies exist anymore, or even what constitutes a hillbilly.
I don't know if that's even a thing anymore.
That lady on the Sasquatch special was pushing it.
Yeah, that was many years ago. And where was she?
She was in southern Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania?
I think so.
Really?
I could be wrong.
With the old baby? No.
Yeah,
with the
baby.
With the guy from Russia that came over to learn
she
about
was in southern Pennsylvania. I'm not sure. She could have been in the Carolinas.
Well, I thought it was the more mid-south. I don't know. Maybe that's.
But
I don't know.
Yeah, it was a woman who had claimed there was a troop of Sasquatch near her.
A group of them that lived out in the woods.
She actually could speak to them.
They talked though, Mandy. How did they talk?
They spoke with the Sasquatch. They spoke with kind of a kurgle.
Yeah, kind of a kurgle.
That's how the woman described.
Yeah. And she used to trade them stuff with garlic and onions because they would use it to
down a deer and rip it to shreds.
Well, yeah. Well,
yeah,
she was saying that she
love garlic.
Yeah, she said they used it for keeping mosquitoes away.
Shaylee says like a Wookiee.
Yeah, basically.
Well, she said they're
both imaginary,
but they spoke English with a kurgle.
Why would they speak English though? I'm sorry.
I don't know.
I don't mean to.
But yes, they're much like Wookiees.
Yeah.
I remember there's a bit of trivia that when they were.
I know what you're gonna say.
When they were filming Peter Mayhew as Chewbacca out in the woods, he had guards around him to make sure that people wouldn't think it was accidentally a Sasquatch.
That was not what I was going to say.
Oh, okay.
I was going to talk about the whole thing about Wookiee being backwards for Ewok.
Oh, okay, yeah. I had mentioned
because it was supposed to have been their town, right? Or their planet, kind of, sort of. I don't know. Matt knows Star Wars better than I do.
They changed it for kids, so they gave us scary little teddy bears instead of mighty.
Well, they're more scary than regular
Wookiees.
Teddy bears. Oh,
there's a meme where it says, "This is a teddy bear. This is a teddy bear." Crack.
Oh.
Because they kind of look funky if you think about it.
Well,
or little Ewoks.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I loved them as a kid.
See,
Not so much now.
I saw those as an adult, so I wasn't really
like what?
Like, oh my god, they're so cute. I was kind of like, what's happening now?
Yes, the Ewoks took
there was a lot of political intrigue, and now there's teddy bears. You know, I didn't really see that as an adult. It's probably a unique thing to see those things as a grown-up as opposed to growing up with them, maybe. I don't know.
2 minutes for raffle and the end of the auction.
Oh, yeah. So, we already have bids on this one, but if you want to put a bid in,
I'll do the going once, going twice.
Oh, really? So. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I won't end it.
And again, it's not how the painting looks now. You can tell me how to finish it and make it look like you or your daughter or I can probably make her a boy, you know. There's not a whole lot of detail in here.
1855.
Depends if the boy has a lot of eye makeup, and that's fine. I could kind of...
Getting up to historical American dates.
1855.
1855.
Just you wait, in a decade we're going to have Abraham Lincoln.
Nothing like old Abraham Lincoln. 1900.
Old honest Abe. 1900. That's like times I've kind of know better. Kind of. I was born in the 1900s.
How about somebody bid the year that we
Yeah, when are we gonna make it to like colonize Mars? That would be good.
1905. Oh, I have a car.
Yeah.
It's a Model T.
Model T. Yeah. Actually, 1905.
This was a Model A. I don't know.
That would have been a Model A.
Henry Ford and the Model T. 1980.
1980? Oh, I know that year. That's
Jasmine
when my sister Katina. I was 6 months old, 1980. I was a baby. I've seen very unflattering pictures of myself from that year. I was the world's grumpiest baby.
2004.
2004. What was happening
now they're getting
2004?
funny here.
Let me think.
Is
somebody really bidding that, or are you just thinking about 2004?
I'm not making this up, Jen.
Okay, but 2004. What was happening then? I was some of you guys probably knew me then, actually, in 2004, because I started my website in 1997.
2019.
2019 is now.
You guys are having fun with
that.
Us now.
That is awesome. You guys understand me.
2019.
You guys are hilarious.
Those days. Oh.
I remember those days way back when.
2024.
2024. Ooh.
I'll stop that. I'll do that.
I don't know what's going to happen then.
I'm going to do the raffle.
I don't even know what pins are going to be on 2024.
2055.
2055. I don't know if I'll still be alive then. I was born in 79.
Okay.
So I'm trying to think.
2055.
I would still be alive.
2075.
Then. 2075. Yep. Matt would be 102
I actually have to type it
then, right? Matt would be 102 years old then.
2078.
2078. I would be 99.
I'd be 105 in 2078.
I was talking about the time they said before that when they said 25 or I'm sorry, 2075.
2075. Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be 102.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2100.
2100. I would be. How old would I be? Like, why doesn't somebody type in when I was 7,000 years old? No.
I left the room and all I could hear was time travel bidding. Okay.
Hey, I love time travel talk. I like very speculative time travel talk. Yep. What is it?
Going once. I got to type this.
What year is it? Or not what year?
2105.
Okay, that's a good year. I hope. Last chance. Probably won't do one of these for a while. You good?
Going.
Yay.
Oh, 2110. 2115.
That's I probably will not live to see that year, but thank you for the bid. I don't want to make it all about how old I'm
going
to
be.
Once.
Sorry.
All right. Just because I just had a birthday. You did the going once 21. Again, or
yeah?
Or you gotta do it again now.
Yep.
Okay, that's fine. All right, this is kind of what I'm working on now. So either way, she might look kind of grumpy here, but I can make her look less grumpy if I paint her. There's a decent amount of area. I could change that. I could give her short hair. I could give her one eye. I could cut off one of her arms and make it all gross. You know, I could do pretty much anything at this point.
Tentacles.
I could add a tiny little elephant, like in this one. Put a little elephant right there. Although I kind of already painted that. This is not the actual painting, but this is what I'm looking at when I'm painting this. So.
Oh, 2145. Sorry. They type in quicker. Oh, 2150.
What's that song? In the year 20-something, 25. What is that one?
The Age of Aquarius?
No. If man is still alive, if woman can survive without him. In the year 25-something, 535. I don't remember. Yeah, they used to play on WHB all the time. No. I think it's by the people who did the Secret Agent Man song, but I'm not sure.
Secret Agent Man.
Mm-hmm. Probably good. Or should I go back?
It's called In the Year 2525.
2525.
Hey, River Song, is that a bid?
I wasn't like implying
no,
it should
I'm
be.
Joking,
I just was making song lyrics,
okay,
but
so
yeah.
2156.
That sounds like a lucky
going
number.
Going twice.
Yep, going once, going twice. Are we good? I'll probably do another one of these. Probably not the summer, but
21. Okay.
Yeah.
Sold. Okay, 2156 at Jack's.
Okay,
Jackie.
so 2156. How will I
Jackie,
be done?
Send us an email.
Oh, we have a package for Jackie already.
Yeah, we do.
We could maybe put them together and mail them.
Or if you want that other one sooner.
Or we could mail the other one. Yeah.
I'll be.
You know what we're talking about, Jackie. Yeah. Jax.
So send us an email, Jackie, and also remind me what the last bid was, and just be honest.
We could look it up on.
We could, because I remember it ended at 6:03. Okay, now we'll do the raffle, guys.
Oh yeah, raffle
for everybody.
All these time-sensitive things keep happening, and this is for the Alice in Wonderland Oracle deck. You get the whole deck with all the cards and the book in the box, and I will sign it too. And I'll sign the book too, because why not? I've got a pen already out.
But this is a person that I don't see them chatting, but their name is Bubba Spence.
Bubba Spence?
Bubba Spence.
Spence. Oh, okay, gotcha.
Not Bubba Fett.
I don't know. We're talking about Star Wars.
You were. And that is that beautiful Oracle deck.
And depending on how she gets finished, we might show you guys how she turns out. So those are always fun. Sometimes there are things that are kind of outside my wheelhouse a bit. It's like, oh, I would have not have thought about painting that, but that turned out super cute. So,
all right, Bubba, if you're in the room, please follow the instructions. If not, I'll have to hunt you down, and I don't like it. All right, I'm going to use the restroom.
Okay, I'll wait till you get back because I've got to dump out my water.
People kept bidding.
Okay.
What do you need to do?
Oh, go ahead and go to the bathroom first, love.
You want me to?
No, you're fine. I was gonna clean the brushes I had that had the kind of more cool toned neutrals in it and wash out the water. So
we have an hour left of the
Oh, okay. And then our last prize will be the one from Pop Gallery, the Seashell Collector pin right here. And I will sign the little backing board for it too. In the meantime, I keep meaning to tell you guys, I've meant to talk about these a million times because I've done so many of these, but we have been popping up loads of the Patreon coloring pages. If you are somebody who likes coloring in coloring books, we do have the Alice in Wonderland coloring book coming out in September. But we also put up coloring pages, both grayscale and line art. These are partially colored in here. Here's the line art one. They aren't colored in when you download them. That's just to show you how they look when they're colored in. But I put loads of these up on my Patreon, and these are very different paintings. You can't get these on like a coloring book or a like Coloring Heaven magazine does a lot of them, but none of the ones that you see at Patreon are available anywhere else. They are truly exclusive. So, Girl with the Pearl Earring, for example, you could get her in the line art on this one. I think we have about 80 up there, and it costs $5 for the Patreon subscription, but you can download all of them all at once if you want, and then you can cancel, and then you've got like a whole huge coloring book for like $5. But you should stay around because I have a bunch more I want to pop up there. But some of these are extremely detailed, and you can get the, she's upside down. You can get the colorful ones, or the shaded in ones, or you can get the other ones. You know, it's funny. If you look at the grayscale one, which is basically the painting I did, and again, ignore the colors on here. I've just added this later. You can see the one that I think I did it here on Touch, and you can see me with holding a little palette there. Even on the coloring page, there's a tiny little Jasmine there holding a little palette.
Yeah, I think that's cute.
It's so cute. And you can see the palm trees outside my window, too.
That's a tiny Jasmine that paints the minis.
Yeah, that's the little tiny painting. Anyways, we've added a whole bunch of these over like the past couple months. And there's about 80 up there total. And $5 gets you all of them. But again, stick around, there's more to come. Or you don't have to stick around if you only have $5. I'm not going to take your last $5. But the newest one we added about 18 hours ago is Dice Dragonlings.
Jasmine.
Which is a cool one. It's kind of a D&D one with different types of dice, and you can get it in line art for that one.
That one's pretty cool.
I like that.
Let's cross our fingers for Anne to win the Seashell Collector. That was the first pin she ever got.
Oh.
And she traded it not knowing that there was some sort of wacky pin craze.
Oh, that happens a lot when people trade stuff. Sometimes they don't know which ones are rare or which ones
I would say...
No, I always just trade for... I like trading stuff, and I like collecting things. I just collect stuff I like.
Someone
like if it's green, I'm going to get it. Yeah.
People didn't know what
they got. That almost happened a couple times at MegaCon. But...
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean... If you find someone that's willing to trade an alligator girl for anything, there you go.
Yeah, those are between $2,000 to $5,000 right now, I think. Oh, good night.
Lila's been lately. She's been leaving about an hour.
I was gonna say we are in an hour off the time zone, so that makes sense.
Well, no, even I mean it's the same time. We're having it the same time we usually.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna pour out my murky, horrible water here that I've been using for gesso and plaster and everything, and I will be right back. Well, it's not gross. It's not like it's poisonous or anything.
Actually, she's gonna take it over the sink and she's just gonna chug it.
Ew.
Whatever. I've seen you drink it before.
Not like with.
I don't know. Oh yeah, you don't. Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds like the wrong trousers. Yeah. I like Aardman. Oh, it's your meds. Okay. Meds make you sleepy. Hey NHL, how's it going? Stands for the National Hero League. So, did anybody do anything fun for July 4th? Anyone go to see fireworks? Americans. And you British realize that we're celebrating our independence from you, right? But then we get to go and visit, and it's not like we're family, it's more like we're friends. Oh, that's awful, Ian. I'm sorry. You've been having bad luck. First you trading pins you don't want to trade, and then your weather's awful. No. I really want a queen to rule over me. That would make me happy. Actually, the queen's alright. It's alright. I like her house.
She's a beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. True. That's true. July 4th, the first successful Brexit, says. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, I'm staying out of this. Florida weather, gotta love it. You don't have to, but I do. Except for the hurricanes. Hey, hurricane. Hurricane. Well, I'm not saying it to not be funny.
Oh.
Well, it sounds like a Street Fighter 2 move. Hurricane! Hurricane!
I didn't play Street Fighter 2 very much. I don't know.
Well, I spent too much money on that game, and then it came on both the Genesis and the Super Nintendo, and it was just like the arcade, and it was like saving money by buying it.
I never had a Genesis, but we did have a Super Nintendo.
Bubba Spence, you didn't win the pin. Did I say you won a pin?
Oh, scheisse, Mandy, you told...
No.
Who?
I said you won the Alice in Wonderland Oracle.
Oh, you didn't say it wrong, did you?
No.
Okay.
No, Bubba, you won the Alice
Oracle
Wonderland
deck.
Oracle. Here, I'll put the message there again.
Okay. You didn't copy paste it. No.
I copy pasted, but
if you did, I'll have
correct.
to find another one of those pins, because if we said it, I will make sure we did it. So. But I think you won the Oracle deck.
You did.
We haven't.
And I'm pretty sure I put it
The
in
next
correctly.
prize is this one. And this is the last one.
The next raffle.
That will be like in 50 minutes or
But
whatever.
you could. I think you can win that one too.
You can win both times.
Yeah,
I don't know how many people are in the room.
Okay, they said okay, thanks.
Okay. But Matt hasn't told me how many people are in the room, so if there's only like 3 of you, then...
There are 74 people in the room currently, and
okay.
let's see how 143 entries.
Okay, well...
So not bad for a July.
Yeah,
I don't expect big crowds.
No, I mean as far as chances to win twice in a row, I'm trying to do the math for it.
Seashell is my huge want pin. I think, Jasmine, I have... Seashell Collector. I have... we have more in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that we can raffle some more of those in the future.
Well, we did raffle a few of them. I'm not sure how many we have left.
That's what I'm saying. I know we have some.
Okay, that is the one that we have more of than some of the other event exclusives.
Right,
because
so you
none
see
of
that
them
one
came
pop up
damaged.
more.
Not one of them was like messed up when we got it. So
Sometimes
we always
that
order
happens.
extras because usually a bunch of them are messed up, and those were fine. So
Yeah,
not
join the
messed up,
raffle
but,
in about 45 minutes. That seashell collector can be yours.
Mm-hmm.
And originally you would have had to been there at Pop Gallery. At Christmas?
I think so. It was in December.
I don't know. It was big, scary, crazy line.
Yeah.
I still find it so ironic. So many of our artist friends tend to have a certain level of agoraphobia, but yet they have to go to these giant events with all these people.
Yeah, it's hilarious, man. Yeah.
It's just, that's how you do it, you know?
Yeah. Well, it's nice.
But I wish you luck, Bubba. Also, Ann. I want Ann or Bubba to win the pin, but
again, you can butter up Matt or try to bribe him, but it is done by Moobot.
And again, what's weird is I joined the raffle too, guys, and I still have never won.
If he ever does one, he does not get the prize. We'll do 2 drawings.
I have to reset it or so. I don't know what I have to do.
Yeah, I don't know either. Wow, this is looking very sculptural. I will show you guys from the front how 3-dimensional this is looking, because I don't know how good it shows up. I can't really see the TV from here, so but it's looking very 3-dimensional. What do I do now? Start putting maybe some darker colors on what would be her outfit, because I'm going to start wanting to put some ferns and like palm trees and maybe some jungle sort of stuff around here, because wherever baby elephants live in the wild, and I've seen them in India and various countries in Africa, they're always in places that have a lot of greenery and trees that they can hide around and eat the trees, basically. Elephants love eating trees. I'm going to put some darker colors on her outfit because I'm not really going to take time to draw in her feet and legs because I'm planning to put plants on top of it. Yeah.
Sassy wants to know what we do with the damaged pins. Do we refund? Do we get a refund for them?
Nah, I don't bother. I get so many pins made from the factory. Usually they send me a few extra that they don't charge me for, and I think they're supposed to kind of balance out for the ones that get stomped on by the postman or get run over by forklifts or what's that, Liv?
Sometimes we're too nice to customer service.
Yeah, well,
I think it's because
I'd rather be too nice than the other, and I've worked in customer service a lot.
Except for the cable people. They're just cable.
Do we want to talk about Comcast now? Because I would love to talk. Okay, no, I would never want to talk about Comcast.
I'm not that fond of the other one either, the Spectrum thing.
I'm not a fan of that either.
I don't think I'm a fan of cable companies in general.
Well, I think in some ways their days are numbered because a lot of other more smarter technology sort of gatekeepers are coming up right now. So they're probably terrified and trying to get all the money they can.
Hey, sorry, Comcast, I'm gonna
use use
this third-party thing that I have in my car.
Well, that's what I mean. Or people like us who kind of live in between time zones or in between different countries. It is.
I know. I wonder how much loyalty we need our cable, because we have a nice package that would have been like nice in the 80s. We have all those channels, but
that sounds really good, right?
I mean,
it would have been nice in the 80s.
We want the Murder Book channels. We want the HBO Showtime things. You can buy subscription to all these now.
Yeah.
But I also want like my crazy religious channels.
Well, that's like a lot. Well, are you talking about Kansas or are you talking about Florida? They both have those, but yeah.
Well, the radio's
something
even
like
better.
Wow.
Listen to some
like
of those
satellite radio or regular radio?
No, regular radio.
Oh,
Listen to some
wow,
of the local preachers as you're driving through the southeast to the Midwest.
I don't know how many people would go on long distance drives between the main hubs of different cities in America, but that is a dearth of weirdness that you can kind of get into after a while.
Again, family friendly, but you either see very religious sorts of billboards, or you see the opposite. Like, hey, stop here for girls sorts. It's like either or. So it's really funny. All the billboards, they're so diametrically opposed.
Up or down, yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
well,
I love looking at the horrible billboards.
I also think that billboard. I kind of hate billboards. I don't know. I think they're eyesores in a way. I like going to countries where they don't have billboards. Well, think about driving from, I don't know, Cornwall to London. I love, though. Yeah, but think about places you go to that have areas of outstanding beauty, like England. When you're going from Cornwall to London, it's very pretty. You go through the Lake District and everything, and you don't see a single billboard, do you?
When it stops you from seeing the natural, beautiful scenery, it kind of sucks.
It's like you're looking at a beautiful waterfall in a huge lake that is amazing, in a forest, an ancient forest that is in the middle of Missouri, and it's just trying to tell you about strippers or whatever, who was running for office or whatever, it's kind of weird.
Pharaoh Bell says, I saw that you have an original Ariel in your shop. Do you have plans to draw a new Ariel?
I have painted Ariel twice for the Walt Disney Company. So are they talking about the one that is part of your world or the one that is just called Ariel?
I don't know.
Either way, it is up to Disney.
Both the originals are gone.
The originals have been sold, but they might mean original, meaning I painted it, probably.
I think that's what they mean.
But the paintings themselves have long since been sold, but I would like to paint Ariel again. I could paint her all the time. I love Ariel.
She's a cutie.
She's a fun one to paint because she's all,
And she's Disney and a mermaid. It's like two of your favorite things.
Yeah, it's like things I like to paint. So, and I like painting things that are underwater because it's kind of challenging to make the lighting fall on stuff or make it look like above the water, below the water. That's always a fun thing to paint.
I like your Sebastian.
Yeah. He's cute. He's got a very kind of, I hope you like me look on his face, but I like him.
Don't eat me.
Yeah, don't eat me. Mr. Chef. Oh, this is actually looking pretty nice.
I still want to kiss the girl version.
Huh?
Anne says, I still want a kiss the girl version when they're in the
you
little
know what? I would love
boat.
to paint that too. The only reason when I was doing the second Ariel I did for Disney, they wouldn't let me do that is they thought it would look too similar to Rapunzel when she's doing her in a boat thing with her boyfriend with the lanterns in the background. And I think that was meant to be, like Matt said, an homage to the Little Mermaid version. So
I've
they
got
didn't.
The song stuck in my head.
And I think every artist who works with Disney was like, can I do that? Can I do that? Can I do that? And I was just like, probably driving between Kansas and Nebraska or something during that time. So I was not in on the early kind of curve on that. So maybe in the future.
I like that part of the movie. It's so pretty.
Oh, it's lovely. I like that part of the ride, like on the actual dark ride area. Yeah. Both in Florida and California. At Disney California Adventure or at the Magic Kingdom in Disney World, they have that part. I like the little fishes that are like, and they're going like a little circle.
Oh yeah, they're making it horribly romantic, but he still doesn't kiss her.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to meet a girlfriend that has never talked to you before and you're going to get married to her.
It's very hurried. It's very hurried.
Yeah, it's kind of mail order bridey a bit. But
well, no, they're not planning on getting married then.
Oh, okay.
Remember, because they don't get married.
He's a prince, though.
He breaks Ursula in the form of basically a black-haired Little Mermaid comes.
Yeah.
And then she turns into crazy Ursula, and Prince Eric sticks a broken, bow in her gut.
Yeah.
Seattle Steve is in the house. Thanks so much for giving us Patreonies, our own private place to get Canvas Cuties. I got 2 last night. Do we still get your new baby dragon with them? You bet,
good.
Steve.
Yeah,
we have plenty left. I saw your orders go through.
Yeah, we will definitely let you guys know. If we run out, we still have some.
You'll get one for every order you place there.
Yep. If you place 5 orders in a row, you will get 5.
Because I have to get caught up this week, so bear with me.
Yeah.
But lots of baby red dragons.
Yeah, we've got we have lots, but I mean we kind of have lots. There is a chance we might run out.
I think
so. If you really want one, do it in the first half. I wouldn't even say the first few days, but the first half of the month, you'd probably be okay.
Yeah,
for sure, right?
I don't know. I mean, I hope so.
Well, unless somebody somebody could make like a bot macro thing, just like go up there and don't do that. Don't you do that. Yeah.
Then I wouldn't know what to do. The latter half of this month, Jasmine will be out of town.
That's what I'm saying. If you do it in the first half of the month, that is the best way to do it. Otherwise, also, I don't know if I could tell people we ran out. That would be awful.
Why don't you re-show the pins, the new pins?
Oh, Are they under the?
Yeah, Vanessa. That's right. Her name is Vanessa, and she can talk.
Oh, Ursula, when she's pretending to be Ariel, is Vanessa. Yeah.
And she's got that.
Is that what you're talking about?
Around her neck that has Ariel's voice, so she can sing like her.
That's why I put that necklace in. If you know not the painting part of your world, but the one I did for Disney called just called Ariel, that has the little shell necklace in it because I thought that'd be funny. And I put Flotsam and Jetsam in it too, which is probably the only way I would be able to paint them. Because I didn't know at the time I was going to paint Ursula. But I painted Ursula too. Anyways. These are the new ones that are coming out on, what's that, Wednesday or Tuesday?
Oh, yeah. Tuesday
yeah.
is what we're shooting for. I have to make sure that I'm setting it up correctly.
And again, these are not the usual enamel type ones. They're not the ones like this little guy. They're not part of the usual collector ones. But they're like the Porcelina ones. If you have a Porcelina one and you're like, oh, that one's smooth.
Right, so this is
You could, if you were doing the Braille thing, you would not be able to tell they're all super smooth. But they're still metal.
To sell on Tuesday, and it's a great way to get your Baby Red Dragon pin.
Yeah. Originally, I wasn't sure if it was going to line up. So, and these are solid metal. I got my name. I haven't even looked if they spelled it right. Did they? I hope so. Yep, they spelled it right. And it's got 2 locking backs as usual. I'm sorry, I've got paint all over me, and they are pretty sturdy. And that's what we're gonna do for you people who keep asking for.
By chance, do you have the July pin for us to see?
What's that, babe?
They want to see the July pin.
Yes, we have her. We literally just got her. Black Orchid Fairy.
I haven't put her on her card.
No, she wouldn't be. She's probably in that horrible box that's over there. I'm sorry. Hey, you guys can see Matt now, right?
Yeah.
Kinda don't look at him.
So just hold this in there.
Okay, I will not hold it in my feet. I'll hold it in my hand. Here she is. I've showed the concept art I've done before, but here's the actual pin, and she is the July pin of the month. So we'll be popping her up. You can tell how she's different from the other ones. This is a good comparison, actually, because this one is sculpted. If you see it, it's kind of bumpy on the front because it's a mold that we do. And this one is smooth on the front. And this one is a nickel, and this is a dyed iron alloy here. They both have my name. They both have 2 of those. But the pin of the month.
The square ones are bigger than I imagine them to be.
Which one?
Or the square ones?
Yeah.
They're
well,
nice
I
and
was
big.
trying to tell you, they're 1.25 inches, which sounds small because she, for example, Black Orchid Fairy is 1.75. So she's about, half again as tall as that one, right?
Yeah.
But
you get 4.
They look bigger when you see them, if that makes sense.
They look pretty big in your hand.
Exactly. But if you were to compare it to like the regular pin of the month sort of thing, you can see how that's taller. That's why I keep calling them mini pins, but yeah, they're not that much smaller. They're like maybe 1/3 or 1/2 as big. But when I wanted to do them as, I thought originally doing 0.75 instead of 1.75 inches, and we couldn't put 2. We tried, but we couldn't put 2 of the posts on the back. And the reason it's good to have 2 posts on the back if you're actually wearing them or displaying them is so they don't get turned around. If you had one in the middle, they can kind of pinwheel at you like, woo, and turn upside down or be all sidewaysy or whatever. So having 2 makes them the right direction if you're putting them in a shadow box or you're putting them in your purse or whatever, and you want them to face the right way. So yeah, these will be the new ones.
The new Patreon pin we do not have to show you yet.
We don't yet. She is probably in my vicinity, but not within arm's length. But I think I posted the. Did I post the concept art for that one. Yeah, I think I showed you guys. Yeah. So that will be along with Black Orchid Fairy.
Yes.
So those of you who are not a pin collector yet at Patreon, as I always say, if you join now, you'll get her, and you will get the next one, and you will get the lanyard, and you will start getting them every month. And the difference between that and the regular $10 tier is only $15, so you get like 1 or 2 pins, which would usually cost more than that $15 to as far as shipping and everything, because we ship worldwide, and those will be on your way. Also, you get discounts and all sorts of other stuff, like you can log in and get things you can't buy regularly and all those good thingies. Also, kind of like the postcard she's on. We got the kitty. You can see the kitty's eye. It's adorable. And on the back, you can see the other 3. There's a girl with a frog, there's a girl with a pug, and there's a girl with a little turtle.
Anne says, how do you get that set, the glossy 4-pack?
They're not available yet, but they're popping up on Tuesday, correct?
Probably, yes.
Probably Tuesday. So
we always should say probably.
Probably
we say anything
Tuesday.
Concrete. Yeah, it's just
yeah. No, it is probably Tuesday though. Really, it should be. Oh. And that will just be at strangeling.com. If you click on the thing that says collectible pins.
How much is the pin set gonna be?
It's $39.99, so it works out to be like $9 a pin. Usually we charge $14 or $15.99. I should know this. $15.99 a pin, something like that. $13.99 a pin, something like that. So it's cheaper if you get it as a set, and that will be on Tuesday, hopefully.
Half hour till raffle.
Wow, gosh, time goes so quickly. I'm using a very, very fuzzy brush I've had since I lived here in Kansas. So this brush is probably 20 years old, maybe longer. I'm putting a little bit of highlights on her cheeks. And blending that in. Using Titan Buff mixed with Titanium White. Because I want, as far as the female character in here, the humanoid character, I want that to be the closest figure to the camera. Like, if you had your friend out and you're taking a picture, she would be the one that you'd be focusing on. But I want the elephant to be part of that, too. So I'm using some of that same tone, and I'm putting it on her arm, and connecting it over to the elephant's trunk. Because if I connect those two, that somehow makes a bridge between the main character that you're going to look at her eyes and you're going to see her the first thing, and you're going to look at her shoulder, watch it like you're doing a little traveling walk from her arm, her shoulder, off to her fingers. And her fingers are going to run into the trunk of the elephant. That's going to run into the bit that is kind of above. If elephants had eyebrows, that would be his eyebrow and his little cheeky bit here. And his little ear. A little bit more light on the top part of her forehead too. So it doesn't look like she's grabbing him by the trunk. If I only did that on her arm, it would look like her arm was grabbing his trunk and she was further away. And you don't want to look like you're grabbing a baby elephant by the trunk and trying to get them out of the woods, you know. I want it to look like they're friends and maybe snuck up on the two of them and you took a picture of them. Which is also kind of rude, but, you know, that's fine. I don't want it to look invasive, though. Oh, they're so cute. Oh, and those of you, we had several people up here asking about, if I was going to do prints of the mini paintings. For example, some of you guys saw me do this mini painting here at Twitch. Golly, it would have been 2 weeks ago, I think, yeah? When I did the mini?
Oh, yeah, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, yeah. The only print I'm doing for this actual painting would be the ACEO print, and that will be up on eBay. We will be up here next Sunday, and I might have the ACEOs by then. And ACEO is it's an acronym for Art, Cards, Editions, and Originals. So it's like, this is not the actual painting, it's printed on like a piece of crappy like typing paper, but it will be a little tiny print on canvas, and we'll have that on my eBay store. Otherwise, we're going to have this one here. I'm going to call it my elephant friend or something about elephant friend, and that will be on my website, and you can buy those, and you'll be able to get those by the time I'm up here next weekend. But I hope to have those ACEOs for your ACEO collectors within the next probably 2 or 3 days. Don't you think, Matt?
What's that then?
ACEOs in the next 2 or 3 days, probably.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think so.
Can we order more Patreon exclusive pins, or if we're in that tier? Only if you have 2 accounts, you get 2. If you have 1 account, you get 1.
Patreon exclusives, yeah, and you can always make more accounts.
That's how you get them.
Make accounts. You have to do it through Patreon because we can only.
It's
if we
Steve
say
asking.
Patreon exclusive, it is. Oh well, hey Steve.
Yeah, you get 1
that is exclusive to Patreon. So if you want to make an account called Steve number 5 or something like that, you can totally do that. That's not my decision. That's Patreon. It's through them. So yeah, totally. There are people who it's like them, their husband who may or may not care about pens, maybe like for their kids and their dog and maybe their goldfish or their hamster or something like that have accounts. So that is how people get extra pins at Patreon.
And that'll last until we have that as a Patreon exclusive.
Exactly.
So if you added it next month and we still have the cute little lemon girl.
Yeah.
Another one.
For the lemon yellow mask. Yeah, she'll be the next one. I'm very happy that we chose that one for a Patreon exclusive, because we had lime green mask and she was really cute. She had like a little superhero mask that was bright super green and then had little citrus wedges that were bright green like they were lime, and it's like, oh my god, we could totally do a lemon one. If I wanted to be really wily, I could maybe do an orange one. If I was going to, I'd probably do it for a Florida event, like maybe MegaCon next year or something. I don't know. I like the pins to make sense. I don't just randomly make it purple, because what sort of citrus fruit is purple? Not a pumpkin mousse, is it? Yeah, I'm going to start drawing some little ferns and things on top of the main character here on the left, the humanoid character. Can you see that good on the camera, love?
Let me see.
I don't know.
It'll take a second.
Okay. I moved it twice. I'm sorry. Either way, I'll just start.
Yeah, I can see the corner.
Yeah, okay. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
I'm painting little ferns and things over. So if I went like this, can you see it?
Yes, I can.
Okay. I want them to look like they're in the middle of kind of it wouldn't be a meadow, but somewhere that was kind of tropical, but they have a lot of high grasses and a lot of plants that have very small leaves, because I like painting things like that. I'm kind of drawing a straight line, and from there I'm doing some ancillary lines left and right from the central line. It's not quite a fractal, but it's gotten there, because I'm going to start there.
Oh, Karen Kindle's excited about getting an elephant print.
Yay! Yeah, well, that's part of the reason I decided to make that little mini painting again. There's a little painting or a printout of a painting I did with the baby elephant. That's one of the mini paintings I did. And everybody wanted prints of that one, so I was like, okay, well, it was meant to be a larger painting, but I'll do one big enough to do prints from, at least. I'm just adding little leaves and little bits of dots and circles and lines. if you're out in your backyard and you're looking at the top of things like grasses or vines that are growing there, you will see weird little plant things that are going on that, and some of them will grow very quickly. If you go to bed at night, you might see some that are there in the morning, especially in Florida. I mean,
yes.
Yeah, it's like, oh my gosh, there were no plants here. Now there's a weird vine that like is blocking me from being able to go to the garage or whatever.
Pharaoh Bell says, "Do you plan on making a tarot deck?"
Oh yeah, I've got a.
You have one.
I've got a tarot deck. Oh yeah.
Beautiful Creatures Tarot.
If you search Jasmine Becket-Griffith and tarot, you will find it. That was many, many years in the making. With tarot decks, it involves doing 78 paintings, which is a lot. If you're somebody like me and you put a lot of detail into your artwork, it's hard to come up with 78 paintings that are specifically for a tarot deck, because usually when I'm painting, it also has to be, you know, a greeting card or a t-shirt or a statue or a Disney painting or something that will be at Disneyland or... Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I can show it off here on the Twitch camera thingy. But yeah. Oh, it's the second one, right? We can't open it up. Yeah, this is the second edition. No, this is lovely. No, it's it probably shows it off more fancier than it is. But if you search my name or Beautiful Creatures Tarot, I have done 2 different editions of a traditional 78 card tarot deck. So if you were to open this up, it's got shrink wrap on it. I don't know if it's supposed to be like mine or what this one is. It's won a whole bunch of Cardo awards and a lot of other, wow, like 12 different awards. Yes.
Lots of awards.
But yeah, lots of awards. If you open it, J.R. Rivera is fantastic. He's really into the tarot community and he's written the book for it. It has 78 cards, and if you get the second edition, it has different pictures in it, or a bunch of different pictures, and it's kind of neat. The front of this one, I think this is the second edition. I think the first one is Darling Dragonling 4, isn't it?
I think so.
I forget. They both have a character in the front that has like silver hair and has a dragon with him. But this one has one with a D20, like if you're going to roll the dice, which is kind of the idea of tarot as it being random, but still important. That kind of works really good with the theme.
That's a really nice deck.
Yeah, it's... If it wasn't my deck, I would still probably buy it. So that's pretty good. Yeah. But yeah, just look up Jasmine Becket-Griffith Tarot. Or actually, if you type J in tarot, it might come up. I don't know. Somebody was like, how do I find you on Patreon? I'm like, type JAS, and they're like, oh no, I found it. And I'm like, you type JAS and it brought up my Patreon page. That's cool, but
wow.
Yeah.
They must have searched it before.
Yeah, well, you know, if you look at Google search, it isn't for everybody. It is for you specifically. They probably already like me on Facebook or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
About 20 minutes to raffle.
Okay. But if you search Jasmine and Hero, you'll find that one. Or one of those.
Last raffle is Seashell Collector Pin.
Yeah.
A lot of people in the room want this one.
Oh, I'll sign it for you too. I'll sign the little paper thingy on there. Hopefully I can see that. I don't know if I'm lining it up good. But right now what I'm doing, I'm starting to draw the little ferns and vines that are around the main character. I'm doing it, it probably looks like white on the camera, but it's kind of, it's sort of the same color I'm using for the lightest part of the elephant here. And kind of the shoulder and the, not her face, but the shoulder and her hand of the kind of 3-dimensional bits of it, so. Might put some flowers in there too while I'm at it. Sort of little daisies. Because when I go through it later, I will probably put some color on top of it. I'll show that, but there's like a little daisy I kind of put there. And what I'll do is I'll put that on the stem and make it look like it's behind that. And now I've done these lighter bits, I'll take that same color that was Titan Buff mostly mixed with Naples Yellow. I'm going to mix it with some of the color I mixed with the gesso in the background. So when I start drawing more little ferns and more little curly cues here, can you see that on the camera, love?
Yeah.
Okay. When I start doing things like that, they will look darker and they will look like they are more into the distance or like under her arm or in the shade or stuff like that. And that will make it look three-dimensional when I haven't even started to put green on it, even though that's totally going to make green plant maybe a little, I don't know, black-eyed Susan or something, and that will be obvious when I put color on it. But in the meantime, I'm just kind of adding a bunch of crisscrosses here. Look like bits of sod or very tall. Oh, that's super tall. I might even turn it into her hair, and then it looks like she's
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
See, you know how you're talking about psychedelics in Midsummer?
Yeah.
That's when plants start turning into people. Kind of. I'm gonna mix that in with her hair and put some little curly cues, and that will give you the illusion of depth. Even if you never see the original painting, you'll see a print of it, or you'll see me share it here, and it'll look like there is plants and grass around her that are done in a kind of a three-dimensional space, and that should be lovely. I'll start Bob Rossing here at you and talking about happy little trees, but ASMR.
If anyone has any questions about art technique, free to ask.
Yeah. Not all that complicated technique-wise.
Oh, and the way you get that is you subscribe here up on Patreon, not Patreon, Twitch rather, and that's how you get these cool little
on the
things.
Yeah. Little circles up there. Put little dots and a bunch of kind of horizontal crosshatches on there. Or diagonal crosshatches. It kind of makes it look like actual plants a bit more. And if you kind of blend that into where her hair is getting hit as far as the sunlight, since I want her to be in a darker area, usually I have a very designated, like, hey, the light source is from the upper right, or the light source is from the upper left. If you have two little things that are going to be in a nest underneath leaves and grass, and they're in, they're kind of hiding in a little dark area because it's shady. Everything in the middle is going to, in a way, be darker than the things on the outside. So I'm going to be drawing a lot of attention to the things that are the plants and flowers and curly Q sort of vines that are around the outside of that. And that will really work with the frame we showed earlier that has a lot of three-dimensional sort of plaster cast little vines on the outside, and I'm hoping that will kind of reinforce the idea of that's coming in from every corner. So if you see it and it's hanging on your wall, it's like, this is not just my wall, I'm looking at my wall, and it's like going to a hole in the wall almost, and there's a tiny baby elephant and a lovely little fairy.
And you plan on having these in all the different print, or you have the 8.5 by 11
yeah,
print size?
we'll do prints these, yeah, definitely. The painting itself is 8 by 10, but I'm putting a lot of detail in it, so it'll be on the 8 by 10 prints, and I'll do, depending how much detail I put into the plant life around the edges, it will either be a 16 by 20 masterpiece edition, or if it's not super detailed, but I think it's gonna be super detailed. If it isn't though, for some reason, I would do it as an 8 by 10 masterpiece edition, kind of like how I did the Resurrected series, where it's like an 8 by 10, but they're hand embellished and there's like 5 of them. But I will probably do that. I would think if I'm going to paint all these little flowers over the next week or two, and all the little leaves and vines and things like that, I will probably make it a let's see, 8 by 10 times 2 times 4 is 16 by 20 sort of masterpiece edition, but we will have open editions of her also. And paper prints from, $13.99 or whatever those are. And we ship those anywhere in the world. And I'll sign them, and I'll do an ECEO, and I'm trying to think if I can make I've got to do my little square thing when I'm looking at if we do a canvas cutie of it. This would probably be a good candidate for a canvas cutie also, because if I were to, again, if you look at something, make it a square. If it's a square, it can maybe be a canvas cutie. And I could kind of do that with this. It would cut off part of his ear. Again, make 2 corners, look at something, can it be a canvas cutie? It would cut off his ear, but not much of her. And not much of his ear.
It looks okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Like if I had I don't have the.
This is the problem with being a traditional artist and trying to put.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I'd have to cut off an inch or 2 of that and make it a square, and that
just can't slide something over.
So if the part you like about this painting involves the main female figurative work and the elephant. If those are your favorite things, and it's not like a weird little plant I'm going to paint maybe 4 days from now or something. If you like the elephant and the girl, you could probably get a canvas cutie of it. And they will probably have, the Pop Gallery at Disney World and stuff like that. They'll probably do 10 by 10s of it there. Yeah.
What color will her eyes be? Will it be like the study?
It might be. I really like in her eyes, and again, I've sold the original painting, which was tiny, but I think it was much smaller than this. This is printed on a piece of paper. But she had kind of brown eyes, but they weren't even brown. They're kind of hazel. And she's obviously got darker skin, and she probably will too, because, people with very fair skin like me don't see elephants in the wild very often if they live there. She has kind of brown, hazel, orangey, red eyes, so she has a lot of colors in her eyes. But I would probably match them to the little cutie elephant here.
So, Jasmine, we're talking about fireflies or lightning bugs.
Oh, yeah.
And
we're talking about the difference? Because I don't know.
I don't really know either. Ian's never seen them, and Maybrox, who lives in Norway, has never seen them. They don't have them.
Well, Norway doesn't even get dark in the summer, does it?
Bugs.
Right? Huh?
What's that?
Norway doesn't even get dark in the summer, does it?
They have the midnight sun.
It's midsummer there, right? There's a movie you should watch. No.
Pharaoh Bell says no fireflies here. Can't see them because of light pollution.
Oh, really?
We have them all over here. It's great.
Oh my goodness, yeah. We don't have them in Florida, but we have them here in Kansas and Missouri.
A Tigger says, does Pop Gallery have an exclusive on the 10 by 10 canvases? Notice you don't have them on our website.
We do, actually, on the website for open edition OERs.
Right, for the remarked canvases.
Yeah. We've got 178 up there, I think.
Yeah.
So we have them up there. So it's not exclusive to Pop Gallery.
No, but Pop Gallery definitely has a ton of them.
Yeah. They're going to be signed at Pop Gallery, if that's what you mean. The ones that are at Pop Gallery, since they're by our house, I can sign them.
You can sign them.
If they're on the website, they ship from our Kansas shipping location.
The 10 by 10s are
which
often not
isn't
signed
even
at Pop.
by us here. What's that?
The 10 by 10s are often not signed at Pop.
That's true. Yeah. But you wouldn't be able to get that here either. So,
right.
Yeah.
Right.
I have to be, I know it sounds dumb, but I have to be able to reach it with my hand before I can sign something. Well, I've explained that to, I don't know, 8,000 people. And they're like, how come if I ordered this from Books A Million in Korea, how come it's not signed? You said you could sign them. And like, because it's, I don't know, 11,000 miles away and I can't reach it. I have to be able to reach it to sign it. And that's always, and if it is, I can reach it, I will always sign it. I never charge money for that. I just have to be able to reach it. That's my rule. Because otherwise, how could I? I know people make fake machines now that sign things, and some artists do that, and they can go to sleep at night remembering they did that, but I don't do that. I want to be able to actually sign it if it says signed.
Jasmine.
I'm not, yeah.
Maybrock says, we have the midnight sun, so yes, I don't, it doesn't get dark in the northern parts of Norway at all during the summer. Then again, it's 8 weeks totally dark
Oh,
during
wow.
winter without daylight.
Ooh,
Sounds scary.
that is dark, man.
When the trolls come out.
That is why you guys have such good horror books, yeah.
Probably.
That's it. Scandi fiction, detective novels, and all that.
And for Pharaoh Bell says vampires. Yeah, vampire would be like, hey, hanging out up here.
Yeah, if you're thinking of something like
Canvas or board, do you have a preference?
As far as the original painting, I like painting on both. I think it's probably more easy for me to paint on board because if I'm using a regular scanner to scan it in, I don't have to worry about little light effects happening. Like light artifacts is what people call it if you're scanning in. It makes weird little dots on it. But I like painting on board also too. If it's a piece of wood, I can kind of like you probably, if you've been watching me here up on Twitch, I paint something, I smudge it around. I like grinding my hand into it and putting my finger stuff like that. If I was doing that on canvas, I would be worried the whole time if I was gonna, I don't know, dislodge the canvas from the wooden frame around it. So for the original painting, I like to work on a solid surface, mostly. But I can do either. I certainly have done either. But for the printing, I prefer on canvas because that shows a lot more light effect and more texture to it. So.
May Brock says there are vampire holiday camps during the winter.
Oh.
But nightmare during summer.
I bet.
Oh, thank you for the bits.
Thank you for the bits.
Mimi gave us like 1 million bits.
Yay!
500.
Yeah, that's like 1 million, right? Thank you, Mimi. So I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm putting little kind of curly cues. They might look like silly designs right now, but what I'll do a bit later is, it'll probably be after you guys see it, unless I keep this one and show you guys next week. We'll be here next week too, so here in Kansas. But I will put white on there, and I can put colors on top of it. Like if I take green and brown, blue and purple, and I put them, mix it with water, and put it on top of where I've kind of drawn in these kind of white flowers and white curly cues and little ferns and stuff. If I put that on top of there, that will give a good idea of the three-dimensionality of it, and it will look actually three-dimensional. Or hopefully.
Yeah, I remember last week we talked a lot about depth.
Yeah.
You paint the other, the closest parts.
First,
the viewer,
yeah, brighter.
Brighter,
yeah.
right.
And I do that with the background here. And again, since they're supposed to be looking like they're in a little kind of cave in the middle of the grass, I want to make sure to reinforce that idea. It is a complicated way to paint things. It'd be easier to just paint her leg and her foot there, and that's what she looks like, and that's what the elephant looks like, and there you go. That I could do that in an hour and a half, but I want it to look like they're actually going through three-dimensional space, and I don't know. It's important to me as an artist, in addition to having a cute elephant. Oh yeah, I can have both.
You can have both.
Yeah, thank you.
Very true. 4 minutes to raffle.
Okay.
And end up.
And what's it? And the raffle, the last raffle is the one from Pop Gallery, the Seashell Collector pen.
Yes.
Again, that is a hard one to get, and that is one that me and Matt personally have a few extras up. So that is very fortuitous as far as giveaways go. And she is lovely, and she's very kind of summery too. If you're talking about what time of year it is. She's kind of pastel based. She matches, I use the same palette with her that I do for the Seashell Mermaid that we had at MegaCon, right, Maddie?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the same sort of palette. It's in different places. Like, her hair was the yellow color, and her skin tone was like the brown color, and the shells were very similar. But it's the same color palette on that one. So those are kind of the beachy Florida ones I did. Those are both very fun. And again, those of you who are wondering about the little metal pins, we will be doing these and many others up at strangeling.com. This one is starting on Tuesday, correct, Maddie?
Uh-huh.
Okay. And we will let the Patreon people know first. If you're not a Patreon person, go join it right now. It costs like $1. If you want to pay $5, you can get all the coloring pages in there. This is a 0.28% of the coloring pages up there. There are a lot of coloring pages up there if you like coloring. Alternately, you can get pins and other fun stuff up there and be doing different tiers. Or just join up there, and that helps me keep doing what I'm doing.
Yep, I just put a link up for you.
Yeah, thank you, Mandy. Also, if you go up there and look at the people I follow a lot of very talented artists and musicians and writers and all sorts of stuff up there.
It's the best medium for supporting your art.
It is so good.
It is something like Kickstarter. It's got that element to it, but it's better, I think.
I kind of like it better than Kickstarter. Sorry, Kickstarter, I love you, but yeah, I don't know. It's actually run by the people who are putting their stuff up there, which is kind of nice. If you're really wanting to support artists, if you're just looking to get cool stuff, then go for it. Yeah.
1 minute to raffle.
Make this little leaf bigger here.
Camera's being sleepy.
Camera's sleeping on you? Aw.
Oh, she's being next to me.
Oh, you can see the little veins I've started to put in the elephant's ears too. I'll show it a bit more close up. It's starting to look more three-dimensional instead of like just like a plain piece of wood with a bunch of pink on it.
Oh,
yeah.
And if you join Patreon, you can go all the way back.
Oh yeah, if you join up there, you can see everything from the first day I joined up there. So if you like coloring pages or downloads or whatever, or ebooks or videos, you can
actually
you can sign up just for that.
Coloring pages and
you can sign up for 8 seconds and get everything like from that point back, and just download everything and leave if you want to. But don't leave. Don't leave. I've got cool stuff coming, I promise. I've got a lot of things I've been working on that I can't show people yet, but when I can show people, I will show Patreon. You Patreon people probably know that when I'm working on top secret stuff, I show you guys first because you guys have agreed to not tell anybody.
Thorn Tree Lady.
Thorn Tree Lady. Oh, that's a great name. I've been painting things that look like thorn trees, so there's this little buddy, and I'm hoping to have him done, or her, or Buck this week, and I will let y'all know if we have prints up, and we should have prints and everything available by the time we're broadcasting next weekend, which would be next Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern time.
Oh, can you give Kieran's
Kieran, yes, if you look at Kieran's World on YouTube, he kind of parses my regular broadcasts that I do here at Twitch into more savory bites that he puts up on his YouTube. Definitely check those out.
Oh, thanks for all the $5, guys.
Oh, yeah. Again, if you're a coloring person, go to Patreon, do your $5, and you will be pleasantly surprised. If you're used to spending like, $10, $20 on a coloring book, it's like spend $5 and get coloring things that you couldn't get anywhere else in the whole world, and only Jasmine is giving these that she made herself. And it's a little different getting it from somebody who made it themselves than like getting it from a book publisher like Amazon or something. Amazon's awesome though, whatever. We'll see you guys in a week, and thank you for seeing us here in Kansas City. You guys have a good weekend.